Ball watch. Oh hey Vinny, what's up? Oh hey, yeah, Vinny's not here, bro. Vinny's not here. Solo episode for right now. Until you get to the interview later on in the show that we did for y'all. I'm fucking pissed. I'm fucking pissed. I'm fucking pissed. Let's fucking get right into it. Fuck the numbers. Fuck the Swish or miss or farmer boomer complain. Fuck it all right now. Just stayed up late to watch the Knicks lose. Ruined my fucking night again. Brunson is hurt. It did not look good. We play the Clippers today now, by the time we're recording this. I think there is a 0% chance he plays. Zero. Um Fucking camera is all no. There we go. Yeah, I'm pissed. I'm really fucking pissed. Another game where we have a double digit lead in the third quarter and we blow it. And I just don't know. Like everybody knows that we want Brunson taking the shot. Game on the line. Lakers came back, took the lead, then it was tied, and we got to stop ball last before overtime. Great. Set up a fucking play for him. Like everybody knows we want Brunson taking the shot, and we do want Brunson taking the shot. I want him to take every shot in the clutch. But everybody knows we want him to take the shot. What do you think they're going to do? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to double him. They're going to make it hard for him to get the ball. You have to run a competent play. I said this when we went into overtime against the Heat, just literally last week, not even. And it's like, yeah, we want Brunson taking the shot. Run a play for him. Get him the ball. Get him a good look. Give me something. You got to give me something, Tibbs. But no. Instead, we Brunson can't get the ball in the front court. He has to go. I think Josh Hart had to get it in the back court because Miguel couldn't even get it to him. Then Josh Hart gives it to Brunson. Brunson comes down. They double him immediately. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? That's smart. That's smart. And he couldn't get any move. He gets it to Josh. Josh doesn't get the shot off in time. It goes in, but he doesn't get it off in time. It's like that can't be the play, man. That cannot be the play. And I know Cat is going, I know he's going through a tough time right now. Appreciate him even trying to play, but I also I need a better defensive effort rebounded because the amount of second chance shots or second chance opportunities that they got late in the game is ridiculous. I think on two or three separate occasions it led to a Gabe Vincent three. I watch Laker games because I like LeBron. All right. Besides the Knicks, they're probably the team I watch the most. I watch Laker games. When the fuck is Gabe Vincent hitting threes? When? Hardly ever. Everybody on Twitter, on Laker Twitter, all that stuff, coming for him. Oh, he sucks. He sucks. He sucks. All this stuff and that. Now he wants to just hit threes against us. Of course, because our 3-point defense is terrible and they leave them open. OG was doing a good job on Luca. He was early on, and that untucked jersey, OG, I love it. I do. I do. But bro, Luca was it's unfortunate, but he was hunting Cat on the pick and roll. Hunting Cat. Once they set Luca a screen, he literally looked at Cat like, all right, this is cat food. Ah, this is baby food. Ah, the fucking three he hit over him was. Listen, Luca's a great player. Can't do nothing. He's gonna make the tough shots, but he was looking for that. He wanted that switch. He wanted a Cat on him. That's it. It's just these losses are so annoying because they can be prevented. At times, this team looks like they're running around like a chicken without their heads. They get so stagnant on offense. It's like, all right, it's just Jalen, Jalen, Jalen. No, we cannot be a one-dimensional offensive team. We can't. We can't. We had too many guys that are supposed to be good guys that we're supposed to be paying big money to be just a Jalen, Jalen, Jalen offensive team. And OG has been better. So he's not going to catch it tonight. But like I said, Cat, Cat didn't have it tonight. Let me see what his stats were right now on the stupid fucking Bleacher Report that changed everything. Well, I don't want to see the fucking Pacers Hawks score, bro. I want to see the Knicks Lakers. OG had 20 in 44 minutes. Hart had 18 and 10 in 44 minutes. Mikal Bridges 6-3 and 3. That like we cannot have that. We cannot have that. Cat had 12 and 14 and 42. We do need more there too, man. Points wise. And Brunson had 39, 4 and 10. 39 and 10 assists, man. What are we getting from our Wow. Wow. Deuce had 0 points tonight. Cannot have that. Didn't realize that. That's terrible. Mitch had 6. Cam had 3. He was off too. Shaman had 5. Yeah, give me more. Like, if Campaign is not hitting shots, which he wasn't, put in Landry Shamet. Put in Landry Shamet. No Precious again tonight. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know really who needs to be closing the game right now. You know? Like, I don't know what combination needs. I don't know if Mikal needs to sit and Deuce needs to be out there. Obviously, Deuce didn't have it tonight either. I don't know if Mitch, maybe you sit Mikal and have Josh be a defensive guard and bring Mitch out there too. So then you're big. Like you have Mitch at the 5, Cat at the 4, OG at the 3, Hart and Brunson at the 2-1. I don't know. I don't know, but something's got to give because our offense, like, I just don't know. This team just takes their foot off the gas. And then, like, when they become so one dimensional and they're not moving the ball and they're not, like, getting good looks, they look awful. Awful. Same thing against Golden State the other night. They're coming back there, they get it close, and then two fucking annoying losses. Super annoying. And I hope Brunson's all right. I told him, I said, he likes to take a lot of charges. If he needed my ass, I'd give it to him. But as a man with bad feet, terrible feet. I got one foot that's so flat, it's literally like inverted the arch. And then I got my other foot is super high arched. The doctor told me it literally looks like I have the feet of two different people. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. I don't know how it makes sense. But whatever foot is better, I would chop off and give to Brunson right now. Right now. Right now. Fucking Knicks, man. Piss me off. Piss me off. And the Lakers are a good team. I'm not trying to take no credit. They won 8 in a row. 8 in a row. And Bron and Luca look good. They look good together. So anybody who said, "Oh, I don't know if it's gonna work," maybe I said that at one point. I don't know. Yeah, they look fucking fine. That team is firing on all cylinders. But it's been the same thing all year. Like I don't know how many times you guys want to hear me come on and be like, the fucking 3-point defense, the fucking rebounding, the fucking isolation. So we can't do fucking nothing. Isolation. Like how many times? Like how can all of us see this and then like you know no adjustments are made in game or between games or whatever. I don't understand. I don't understand. And I do like our defensive lineup. I wish Brunson didn't have to come off the floor, but I do like the defensive lineup with Mitch and Hart and Mikal and OG and Deuce in. I think that's a good defensive lineup, but where's the offense then? Like we need some fucking offense. I don't get it. Hell, man. He had great defensive play tonight. He like saved the ball out of bounds and kicked it back into Brunson. But like, how many times can I keep defending you and you keep putting up stat lines like this? 6-3-1 ain't gonna fucking cut it for how many what we gave up for you, bro. And the contract you're on. And I don't understand. You can excel in Brooklyn and in Phoenix, but you can't excel with your friends. Come on, man. And for the fucking people that I've seen this week, morons that are trying to be like, we should have traded Josh Hart. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm trying to give up cursing. You're making me curse right now. The heart and soul of the entire team, the dude who busts his ass every night, playing 40 something minutes every night, pretty much, you know, not averaging near a triple double, but, I feel like almost every night I'm seeing like, oh, he could get there maybe. Our only real rebounder right now, besides Mitch. And I mean, I know Cat rebounds too. I know he had like 14 tonight, but still, like he's going in there and getting rebounds with all the bigs. He was guarding LeBron tonight. Like, what are you trading him for? What do you think you're gonna get? You think you're gonna get something back that's more valuable than what he's given to the team? No, man, it's stupid. These are two annoying ass losses, two games that we could have and probably should have. We definitely should have won tonight. And I don't understand how I mean, I know the Warriors again. Steph's been on a fucking tear. I was looking at something today. He's got like 56, 44, I think like 39, and then I think another 50-point game in his last four. He's on a tear. They're playing extremely well. Still, though, these are again, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. It's so frustrating. It's so fucking frustrating. The high hopes for this team, and they are underperforming for sure. For sure. It's the top. I was ready to be like, yo, if you got that number two spot in the West, you should be scared of the Knicks. All we do is bust the number two spot in the West ass because that's what we've been doing. Nope, not tonight. Blow the lead. Brunson gets hurt. We got nothing. We got nothing. And we play the fucking Clippers tomorrow or today when you're listening to this. What's gonna happen then? What's gonna happen then? I don't know. I don't know because Brunson ain't playing. There's no way, man. There's just no way. I gotta stay up fucking late to watch my team fucking lose like this. And again, I watch Laker games. Gabe Vincent, when the fuck is Gabe Vincent hitting shit? I don't know. I don't know, man. Luka and Braun both had over 30 tonight, I think. They both almost had triple doubles. Braun scored his 50,000th point this week, which like I don't can somebody explain this to me? Why like it's stupid? Why wouldn't we just count like playoff points? On overall because not everyone makes the playoffs. Tough shit. Yeah, not everyone makes the playoffs. You got to be good to make the playoffs, and you should be rewarded, not penalized for it. Like, why shouldn't your playoff points count towards your overall points? Make that make sense to me. It don't. Does that mean like in baseball, if you hit a home run in the postseason, it doesn't count to your overall home run count? I don't get that. I mean, I don't even know if that's true, but I'm saying that's exactly what it's like in football. If you catch a touchdown in the postseason, does it count towards your overall touchdowns? It should. Why are like I don't understand. Everyone's all about like, oh, rings, all this stuff, oh, greatness, oh, making the playoffs, all this stuff. But then we're gonna like if you get there and you are there all the time and you score and whatever, it doesn't count as your overall. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. It doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. Apparently Giannis also scored 20,000 like he reached his 20,000th point this week, which like I didn't even hear from like a sports center or ESPN or anything. I found out on Twitter. She's like, yeah, there's literally zero coverage on this. It's like, the fuck? So. I don't know. You have those great wins, like take care of business against the Grizzlies and shit like that. You battle back, you beat the Heat, and then like just piss me off, bro. Just piss me off, man. Piss me off. Piss me off. I don't even care what else is going on around the league. Let's take a look. I don't even care. I don't even care. Yeah, the Warriors won again tonight. What's Steph have tonight? Let's see. I literally think they're like 8-1 or 9-1 since they played Jimmy. I mean, since they brought in Jimmy. Steph had 40 tonight, but Jimmy had 25. Oh, speaking of Warriors, Draymond Green. We told you this already, man. We told you this. You're not no ball watcher. You're not shut that podcast shit down, man. It's not going well for you. You're always saying some dumb stuff, man. Coming here talking about, oh, I heard Cat was, trying to duck Jimmy. Ha ha ha. So funny. Meanwhile, Cat hung 44 on Jimmy in Miami earlier this year. Come on, man. You know what's going on. To just be saying that stuff when clearly it was a family thing, please. We know you wouldn't like that, Draymond. Don't be dumb, dog. Don't be dumb. 40-25. Draymond only has 7. What you got, Draymond? You got nothing. You got nothing. Oh, the Cavs clinched a playoff spot already. Yeah, they're for real. They're for real, fam. They are for real. Hmm. What else? What else? I don't even care, man. The Knicks just pissed me off. Bleacher Report's pissing me off right now. Because I'm up right now. And it's late right now. Come Warriors beat us, man. Yeah. I ain't got really. Let's see. Is there anything else going on around the league? Anything else that really matters? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, KD and his coach got into a little tussle on the sideline. Doesn't seem like things are going too well in Phoenix. I will say that. Does not seem like things are going too well in Phoenix. But he's gonna be out of there and come off season time anyway. And I think the Mavs are interested. The Lakers are interested. I think there was one or two other teams that are interested in KD, and it's like KD to the Lakers. Yo, yo. Uh oh. So yeah, we ended the last episode. Well, not ended, but we spoke last episode on Kyrie. I said it did look, it came out that he wanted to return with a sprained knee. I said it did look worse though, which it did if you saw the video, and he tore his ACL. Not good. Not good. Hopefully, he can have a speedy recovery. But yeah, Nico Harrison, this fucking guy, man, he's making Nico's look bad. You're making me look bad, Nico. Don't make Nico, don't make one Nico look like you, Nico, because you look bad, Nico. I'm trying to look good, Nico. Know what I'm fucking saying? Uh, the Mavs also don't have control of their first round draft picks in 2027, 2028, 2029, or 2030. This guy is bananas. Bananas. I don't understand. Everything gets worse. He is really. There's a conspiracy theory that apparent, might be might be doing all this just so they can get the Mavs out of Dallas. Mavs to Vegas? Is that what they're doing? I don't know. I don't know. Just a conspiracy theory. People are saying, which shout out Vinny because he brought this up in the pod. He said, if I was AD, I might contemplate shutting it down. I wouldn't play another, I wouldn't step on the court again this season. And that is literally what they're contemplating. AD might not be playing another game this season. I saw somewhere that they think that he might have played his last game as a Maverick. I don't think that's necessarily true, but I think he's done for the year. I think he's done for the year. Bet Clay wishes he chose another team now. Injuries suck, man. It didn't look good. We knew it. We knew it. And I guess we'll see. Bron. I also think, for a guy who can't shoot, hitting this 58,000 point on a three, makes you think. Hmm. Ah, Brunson, please be okay. Brunson, please. Please. Should have beat the fucking Lakers tonight. Josh Hart hit a three, pointed at everyone on the bench, and then JJ Redick, and then you can't get the shot off. Come on, man. Gotta be fucking better than this. Brunson, please. All right. That's my NBA stuff. We had to start there. I'm up fucking late. Just, you know, hoping for a win, hoping to come on fucking hyped. Nope. Nope. So, it's whatever. We bounce back. I hope. I hope. Brunson was taking over too. He had all 8 points in overtime. All eight before OG hit a layup, then missed the free throw. He had all eight. Because he's motherfucking clutch, man. He's motherfucking clutch. It can't be all him. It cannot be all him. We have to have some type of plays. Some type of plays, man. Pod 55, double nickel, double nickel. Who wore 55? I don't care. Nah, I know Terrell Suggs wore 55. Dikembe Mutombo. Well, Junior Seau did too, apparently. But yeah, that's who cares who else? Who cares? Who cares? Oh, let's get into a little swish or miss. Miss staying up until 1 a.m. to watch your team fucking lose. Nice, nice, dog. Nice. Another misses injuries. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Um, how about a swish when your package comes way earlier than expected? I'm talking like I wasn't, it was saying I wasn't supposed to get something for like another week and a half, and it's here. It came in, was like, yo, fuck yeah. That was awesome. You guys will probably see it in a few. Um, Another swish, little bro, his school team. They won a playoff game yesterday, or now 2 days ago, whenever you guys listen to this, uh, against a team that was talking mad smack, yo, mad smack. They apparently, they gave word to the little bro that and his team that it was going to be belt to ass, and it was not. It was belt to ass the other way, and Lil Bro took that game over. Yeah, people from the team saying he looked like Cooper Flag. I was like, take me to the promised land, fam. I'll throw this podcast out the window for the riches, dog. No, but he did take it over. He started second half. They were down. He started making some shots. Hit some kid with a nasty hezzy. Drove past pull up bucket. He was driving in, getting fouled. Bucket at the free throw line, and he was clamping up on defense. And uh, it made it even better that the other team's coach was an absolute fucking dickhead, straight dickhead. He knew nothing at all about basketball. You could tell. You can always tell. All he did was yell super loudly, uh, try and get in the our my brother's team's heads by saying things to like try and make them feel worse about themselves. Like, oh, they couldn't beat a fifth grade team. Why is this so close? Guy kept saying he missed Ash Wednesday and his leg day and a fat fuck in his leg day, for this. Like, all right, buddy, you miss it probably every day. And I'm not one to talk because I've been missing it lately too. But let's be real here. Let's be real. He kept yelling it about these. He kept yelling about, oh, they all they do is turn over. They blah blah blah, all this stuff. You know, bozo, straight bozo. So of course, when Lil Bro's team won, I had to make sure I yelled loud enough that he knew that he missed his Ash Wednesday and leg day to lose. Because he's a fucking bozo. Guys yelling nonsense all game. I had to let them know, man. Come on. Be humble, dog. Be humble. You want to try and fire your team up, that's fine. You're going to do it putting down the other team. I don't think so. Especially when you suck. Not the kids, him. Uh, you got lucky because he's a really guy doing fucking nothing. You got lucky that he had some good kids on his team that were bailing him out. But anyway, Lil Bro put that work in. He was dogging, dogging. It's like, hell yeah. I was not doing that at that age. No, sir. No, sir. So yeah, it was good to shut that guy up for sure. And they didn't even have to the kids didn't even have to talk. They was doing it what they playing, what they was doing on the court. So now I had to talk a little. I had to talk a little. But we're being better about that. We're being better. Being better. You know what I'm saying? Um, another miss when when the Duncan location is just moving so slow. It's like what are you doing, bro? Like how are you moving this slow? All I did was get an iced coffee. I didn't get no meal with it. I'm just there's not even a real line here, you know? Fucking waiting 15 minutes for two iced coffees. Something's not adding up. Something's not adding up. So you think America runs on Duncan? I wasn't even crawling on it. I wasn't even walking on it. I wasn't even sitting. It was like a baby. I had to be held. That's how long it was taking. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So, like that coach, I got my ashes, and my team, my brother's team won. Team I was rooting for won, dog. That's all I'm saying. Uh, yeah. So that's that. That's that. What else we got, man? What else we got? I got some Aura farming. It's Dunkin' iced coffee. After all that, I've been having some Dunkin' this week. It's been a long week. It just hits, man. It hits. I love Dunkin'. I love it. Any type of iced coffee. Weather's been getting nicer, but not really. I got my jacket on in the morning, then I'm hot in the afternoon, then I'm cold if I don't have it by night. But listen, any time of year, any time of day, any weather, I'm having that iced coffee. So that's my Aura Farmer of the week. My boomer complaint when, and I don't know if this happens to everyone. I don't know if it's, more work related stuff or whatever. It could be other apps too. I'm not sure. But like when your phone is blocking access to an app because it's like, oh, you actually have to update your phone. Why do I have to fucking update my phone to have an app that's already on my phone? Like, make that make sense. What is the update gonna do? What is it gonna do? Oh, it's so it doesn't, security, this stuff, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not gonna do nothing. It's me on my phone. It's me on my phone. Like, I shouldn't need the latest update to get access to an app. I shouldn't. I'm not about that, you know? It's not to say like I'm like seven updates behind. No, I'm like one update behind. Like why all of a sudden now like, yesterday it's good, now today it's not good. Now today I need to have the update. Why? Why? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't at all. So I don't know if anyone else has that issue. I don't know if that's more of a me thing or whatever, but it's dumb. It's dumb. You know what else is dumb? We're all over. Mm, no, I won't go. I won't go too all over the place. We'll stick to the sports right now. The Rangers. The Rangers are dumb. Let's get a little puck talk going with what came in. Yeah, baby. I'm ready for like fucking Matt Rempe. Hear that? That's the helmet. I got a hockey helmet now for Puck Talk. Uh, it fits nicely, honestly. I got the biggest size. It does fit nicely. Um, another one where we have a lead against the Capitals. We need every point we can get right now, and we blow the lead and then blow the game. And it's like, you gotta be better than that, especially when you have the lead. Like, I don't understand the Rangers. They're almost they're the Knicks on ice. Disney on ice, Knicks on ice. That's the Rangers. Because I just don't understand how you can be on the attack all game, be getting shots on goal, pucks on net, and be up going into the third period, and then you like 13 minutes through the third period with only 7 minutes left. It might have even been later. It might have been like 5 minutes left. You have two shots on goal for the period. Two shots on goal. How do you think that's gonna like help you win a game? What are you setting up? I don't even understand. And listen, I know Trocheck's, assistant captain, whatever, or alternative captain. I forget what it is in hockey, whatever it is. He's been really bad. He's been really bad. He had a terrible fucking penalty yesterday. He One of the shots he had was awful that led to like, a turnover and whatever. He hasn't been good and he needs to step it up big time. And honestly, all the Rangers top guys need to step it up. Kreider, Mika, Panarin is coming on. I know right now. Is coming on a little, but still, fucking in overtime, Mika has it. Shoot the puck, Mika. Shoot the puck. Put the puck on net. Instead, he tried to make a late pass that didn't. That I can't remember if it was JT Miller. I forgot who he was passing to. Late pass. Tried to like uh slim the needle, whatever it is. I can't even think right now. It's late. I don't know what the expressions are. But thread the needle. Thank you. Thread the needle. Thank you, me. He tried to thread the needle like between the defenseman and the goalie, like so, like not enough room at all. Of course, I can't. It might have been JT Miller. I don't know who, but of course they didn't get to it. And then guess what? 3 on 3. And guess what? Boom, leads to a 2 on 1 where fucking I think it might have been Schneider. Was like, oh, I'm just gonna lay down now. You can't lay down on a 2 on 1. Guy said it right after the game. It becomes a 2 on 0. You can't lay down to block the puck. You gotta do something. But that happened because Mika didn't shoot the puck. Just shoot the puck. Shoot the puck, Mika. I don't get it. I don't get it. Fucking again, I'm ready, in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna fucking beat the Capitals. Yeah, OV, you're not getting nothing. Yeah, you might be going for that fucking Gretzky all-time goals, but you're not getting one in here. Nope. Then off a shitty thing off the power play, uh, he scores. He scores. He scores. Should fucking put me out there. You got the helmet now. I'll throw some people around, man. Tom Wilson thinking again in Rempe's face. Rempe said, "Yo, I don't care. I don't care what you say." And fisticuffs were being thrown yesterday. That was cool. That was cool. I like when things get chippy. I do. Don't take no shit. And I like that, even though one of the Rangers guys got his ass kicked. But one of the Rangers guys did the ass kicking. So, but the Senators ended up winning, so they jumped us, and when we could have tied Columbus if we won and been in, or could have jumped ahead of Columbus and the Senators and been in first for the wild card, and now we're behind both because all we got was the point for the tie. I mean, but the point for overtime, and it's like you gotta like these are the games we have to win, man. We have to win, especially with a lead. And yeah, I know the Capitals are good, but again, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and we were beating them. We were beating them. I don't even know the Rangers place, and I'm sure it's gonna be a fun one. Need to get a fucking win. Come on, come on. Puck talk. Ugh. That thing is nice, man. Helmet. All right. Uh, I got a little NFL talk. I talk m more of it in the interview, but just a couple of things that weren't touch based on. Devontae Adams was released by the Jets, which is crazy because they gave up a third round pick for him, and they had him for 6 games. I don't even know. So now he's cut. Apparently he doesn't need to follow Rodgers this time. You know, Rodgers could end up East Coast. Apparently he's looking West Coast. I think there's some interest from the Chargers. DK Metcalf requested a trade from the Seahawks. So that should be interesting. He's been linked to Green Bay, also the Chargers, but I guess we'll see where he ends up. Um, and the Bengals just don't want to pay anybody, man. They franchise tag T. Higgins again, and after Mason Crosby, he signed some $100 million extension, or a little over $100 million extension with the Raiders. Uh, Mason, I don't think that's. I don't think it's Mason Crosby. That doesn't sound right. Let's see. Max Crosby. Jesus. Max Crosby signed like a hundred something $1 million deal extension. And the next day, the Bengals were like, "Oh yeah, Trey Hendrickson, go look for a trade option, buddy, because we're not paying you. We're not paying you." And it's like that dude led the NFL in sacks, and you're not gonna pay him on your already shitty defense. And then you look at teams like Philadelphia who pay everyone. The linebacker Braun just got an extension for like I don't even know 13 million or something a year or whatever. Saquon's got a new extension, making him the highest paid running back in NFL history. 40 $41.2 million extension. Nice, nice. God, oh my God. Imagine Trey Hendrickson ends up on the Eagles. Oh my God. What the hell would I do? I don't even know. It wouldn't be good. It would not be good. You know who else signed an extension? Stephen A. Smith. The fuck? A 5 year, $100 million deal. And Trey Hendrickson was told request a trade. Apparently, Stephen A is making more per year than D'Angelo Russell, Klay Thompson, Lou Dort, Austin Reeves, Malik Monk, Kobe White, Chris Paul. And he doesn't even do it as well as us on Ball Watch. Disgusting. Disgusting. I do his Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown. Hey man, it is what it is these days. And as ESPN also cancels Around the Horn, shout out all my Around the Horn. You know, I think it was 5:30. He'd come on either 5:30 or 4:30. Get home from school, throw on ESPN. Around the Horn comes on. PTI, Tony Reale, Woody Page, Woody Page. That was one of the people on Around the Horn. Tim Kalishaw, I think. J.A. Adonde. Yeah, that's real. That's real bull watching right there. Those are the people on. Oh, what do you got to say, Vinny? I'm drinking pina coladas in Puerto Rico. Oh, nice, bro. Nice. Nice. All right. I have one more thing to discuss before we get to the interview, which the interview is like, it's a nice amount of time. Ball Watch's very own insider. You know, you'll get to meet him in the interview. We do a big baseball preview. Big baseball preview. We talk a little Giants football and then do a starting five. So I hope you guys enjoy it because if you thought I was a ball watcher and you thought Vinny was a ball watcher and you thought we knew ball, our ball watch insider, I'll let him tell you his name. I think I actually tell you his name in the interview. That guy knows ball, man. He was saying names of baseball players that I don't even fucking know. I was like, huh? I don't even know. So to be on lookout for next season, all that stuff. But before we get into that, I got another fucking issue. Let's do it. Let's do it. Severance episode 8. Tell me it was good. Somebody tell me it was good. Somebody tell me it's what you wanted. Hmm? Somebody tell me. 37 minutes of Cobell driving around being like, I need you to take me to Sissy's house, and it's actually my mommy's house, and my mommy died, and this whole town is high off fucking lumen fumes, and oh, I miss my mommy, and I'm gonna sleep for the whole time, and I'm looking for something, and I find it, and then we find out that Cobell actually, she might be the whole person behind Severance, and Lumen stole her idea, and it's like, well, fuck, why couldn't we just do that in 5 minutes and then get back to the regular stuff? 2 whole episodes we've gone without seeing Mark, Helly, Irving, or Dylan. I really, oh God, I really wish I knew somebody who watched Severance 3 years ago because there's no fucking way that they're happy with this. And listen, I don't think I have a problem with filler episodes. I think I more so have a problem with the fact that seasons are only 10 episodes long now. You can't like give fillers back to back. You can't. And for my dad, who's like, "Oh, the season's all about Gemma. That's why the last episode happened. You gotta be patient and all this stuff." Yeah, look at this episode. Look at this fucking episode. Oh, sissy, I was at school and I didn't say bye, and you're a good person, but you're a disappointment. Eamon's Kier's life, blah blah blah. Come on, man, let's figure some shit out. Here I am trying to put stuff together in my head. Oh man, she's going Salt Neck. What is that? Oh, is that like a coal harbor that she's by? Does that have anything to do with anything? Oh, this thing, you know. And she meets her, buddy who they were in child labor with. No explanation there. I'm gonna kiss you though, because I need to kiss you. And come on, man. Come on, man. This is why I don't do well with TV shows, man. Especially ones that I gotta wait for. It's like you can't give me like fucking all these high expectations and then give shitty episodes. And I'm sorry. That's what we've gotten. 2 in a row. And if you want to say this one was worse than the last one, fine. Fine. But we could have found out that, she could have went and got the thing. Even if she didn't find it right away, you know. She could have went and got the thing and then like we could have moved on. I hope somehow everything comes back together and like I hope I'm wrong. I hope everyone can like rub it in my face that these 2 episodes held significant meaning. And yes, I know the Gemma one, you know, again, I said it last week, necessary. Uh, it was a necessary episode, but again, we're getting into the swing of things, and then you're just like pulling us out of the swing of things to give us this whack. Same thing with this. Now you think, all right, we got through the gem episode. Let's see, we're gonna get some stuff going on. No, no, no. If we had 15 episodes, yeah, then maybe okay, like that's fine. But you got 2 episodes left of the season. Two. You telling me we're getting all the answers? I don't know, man. I feel like we already should have gotten some answers. Maybe Cobell can help Mark. I guess we'll see. I hope Cobell gets revenge on Lumen, though. Let's go, Cobell. Why she's always screaming though, man? She's like, no, I don't leave you. I don't believe you. We can tone down the screaming, Cobell. We can tone it down. But if Cobell really worked on Severance and she's the founder, like how long has it really been around, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. But so far, disappointed with the Knicks, Rangers, and Severance. I will say I may have jumped. I'm not gonna say I jumped the gun because season two of Ted Lasso was long and not good, but it finished well. All right, they wrapped up the season well. So maybe I'm hoping that that's what happens with Severance because season two of Ted Lasso was all over the place. That we finally got some shit in at the end. You know, they win a game, they get promoted finally. Somehow Nate has gone from the best character on the show in season one to the fucking worst character in season two. Guy is brutal. Um, but again, I hear season three is even worse. So I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. But I will say, I was I was happy with the ending. It was pleasant. I liked that. I liked that. That's our film talk. Enjoy the interviews. The interview, excuse me. We back to our regular scheduled programming after the weekend. Hope you all have a great one. If he was here, he'd be like, stay happy, which you all should. Stay happy. Peace. All right, everyone. Welcome back. If you're hearing this now, we've cut to the interview portion. A little treat for you all. We've got our ball knower here, our ball watch in very own insider. Yeah, that's right. You're thinking ESPN? No, no, no. You're thinking Fox, CBS. All those insiders don't know nothing compared to ball watches. I'm telling you right now. It is our very own Ray Maurer. Clap it up if you're listening in the car right now. Clap it up.
I'll clap it up for myself just in case so that we could
Hell
hear
yeah.
it here in the studio.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
No, it's fucking lit. We got a Ray on here today because Vinny's absent. He's on vacation right now. Guys on a beach by palm trees. Oh, who
Yeah,
I
I
would
know. I mean,
care.
I got such little brother shoes to fill, because the opinions that kid brings to this thing are not going to be hard to come.
Oh, and just in case you weren't sure, oh, does Ray really know ball? Does he really know baseball? Let me tell you something. This guy won a chip in high school. All right. I wasn't on the team that year. I was cut. He won a chip in high school. This guy won a chip in college. He's worked.
I got the ring for you, baby. Got
Wow.
the bling bling.
Wow. Oh my
Just in
God.
case.
Bigger than Kansas City's Super Bowl one. Jesus. From last year because the Eagles one didn't come out yet. Fuck the Eagles though. Uh he has worked for the Mets for over 10 years. And
LFGM, baby. Mets is life.
he's
Mets is
saved countless lives, third base side, catching foul balls.
the old BB. It just felt right to me. Part-time ball knower, part-time ball boy. It's just all in the title.
It's absolutely electric. Absolutely electric. Keith and Ron and Gary have given him a shout out before too for some of those saves. So
Oh yeah. They Keith and Ron will live forever in infamy, not knowing that it was me, but me knowing that it was me, and my family and friends knowing it was me. That's what's important.
hell yeah. Hell yeah. So we brought Ray on today. Fair notice, Ray will be back as we get a little closer to the NFL draft because he does some scouting and we're going to discuss what should happen then. But today, with baseball getting closer, felt like we need a little preview. And Ray just completed a dynasty baseball fantasy baseball draft where he created a 40 sheet Excel sheet. Am I right?
That is correct. Some people think that it's probably a little too much because fantasy comes down to luck. But if I can control my half, baby, the dollar bills will control their half.
Put it on a fucking put it on a picture, put it on a quote board, whatever you need. How many rings you got? I know you got some football rings. You got any baseball
Ooh.
ones or no?
Yeah, baseball leagues are at a lower volume, trying to convince people to do that. Definitely have two rings in baseball for sure so far, and I have about 14, I believe, in football over the years. A lot of sample size, but yeah, it's fun to get it done every once in a while.
That's actually fucking insane. I
We've been playing a long time, so if it was somewhere in like the single digits for the amount of leagues that I play in, then I'd be donating. I'd be
yeah,
donating.
uh that's pretty much what I do right now in everything. I
Yeah, we
don't.
need a league together. We need a league together. I need some more charity.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're doing dynasty football next year.
Yes, sir.
I'm hyped about
Yes, sir.
that.
Startup pod for that.
Yes. But I can't do fantasy baseball. Like I said when we were discussing you coming on, we're a Mets podcast. We focus on the Mets. Do we know ball? Yes, but I was trying to come up with my own fantasy team to tell you, and I was struggling when I got to left field. So
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That is a real thin position across the league right now, to say the least.
yeah, and I didn't want to just pick a Met because I picked a couple of other Mets. So it was well, we'll see when we get there. But so how long, I guess to start, how long did it take you to complete this 40-page Excel sheet?
It was definitely close to 30 hours, a couple weeks, but when you have a job, then you kind of lose a lot of time being at work. And
Yeah.
this is 30 hours of your free time, which doesn't sound a lot in a 40-hour work week, but sounds a lot after work. Um, yeah.
Now, I don't know exactly how fantasy baseball works. Do you get points for defense or is it just all offensive based?
So it's like standard league settings and stuff like that will always just include hitting. And for pitching, that's technically the defense. But for being in the field, no, unless you have a fun league, which I've had before, where you give -1 for errors.
Ooh.
Because I just feel like if you're affecting the whole game, if you're making an error, I don't care that you got a single earlier, you're back to zero now. Like you hit a single, you gave up a single, all your fault, you're back to zero. Like I feel like there's got to be a penalty for guys that make errors.
Hey, I mean, in fantasy football, there's penalties for fumbles or interceptions.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's really fun when you're watching the game and you see is are they going to score it a hit? Are they going to score it an error? Is it on the first baseman or the shortstop? And you only have one of those guys, so you're not invested in the entire play. But now you're invested in the official ruling, especially on Sunday Night Baseball, which is when all the matchups come down to, right?
That's
I'm watching the
actually, I didn't even picture it that way. That's so electric. Like you might have the shortstop, but the error's on the first baseman. Like
Yep.
that's fucking awesome.
Yep. I mean, there's like countless times, and I'll mention one time really quickly. The baseball playoffs last year, Sunday Night Baseball, the Dodgers were playing somebody, and I was playing against Mookie Betts, and Mookie Betts was going off. He had a homer, he had a double. I thought my 10-point lead was safe, but now he's about like nine, and he hits a ball over the right field fence again in the eighth inning that gets robbed. So
Electric.
brings it back, and we're just texting each other in the chat, like, all right, as long as Mookie's turn in the lineup doesn't come up again, I'm good. He comes up. I'm like, okay, as long as he gets out, we're good. And then he tanks one. And then I'm like, it might be the worst situation that ever happened, a two-homer game with a double. And he gets robbed. Oh, it was the Padres. The Padres rob him. And I go home with a 1-point dub. And you just can't create that electricity
Oh
all
my,
summer long on Sunday night when football's in the off season. Fantasy baseball's got your back.
dude, that's electric. That is fucking electric. I see that part of it sounds fun as fuck, but I don't know. I know the draft is long. I know there's a lot of moving parts in it. I just feel like I don't know if I have the mental capacity to be because I tried to do fantasy basketball once and I sucked.
Once. I think I tried a second time also, but I tried once, tried second time. The second time Jokic was too good already, so I didn't get him the second time. I only got him the first time. And then once I didn't have him, I was like, this stinks. I'm watching like sixth and seventh guys in the rotation that I have to start because everyone else is off. And then these guys just stink. Like the league is not deep enough with good players for everyone to have enough to fill out a lineup.
No. My brother's doing it for the first time this year, and his entire team was injured for like he had Kawhi, he had Luca, he had Jimmy Butler. I think he either had Zion or Brandon Ingram, both who were out at one point. So he was in last place for a while. I think he's made a little bit of a comeback now, but so you
Injuries are t- injuries are tough, but so is drafting Zion and
I
Kawhi Leonard, who never played basketball ever, and he thought that was a good idea. So I was feeling bad for him for a sec, but I mean, come on, man, you draft those two guys, that's ridiculous.
Zion, I'm not 100% sure of, but I'm like very confident he did draft Kawhi. But
We all know Kawhi. We know ball, and we know that Kawhi is not playing more than 20 games. Even if he's healthy, he's got a rest day every other day. So that's
that's for
tough.
sure. So you think, honestly, you feel that fantasy baseball is easier to do than like fantasy basketball, or just
I
like more
think
fun?
I think it's more fun because like basketball, there are games going on like every other day. It's really hard to keep track of who's playing when. But
Mhm.
baseball, every single team is playing just about every single day.
Yeah.
And if someone's off or has an off day on a Monday, then it's like, oh, this is a surprise kind of. So you can set your lineup for the entire week. The same guys get penciled in the lineup mostly. You could check it daily if you feel like it. Waivers run once a week, so you don't have to worry about ad
Okay.
dropping every morning. And yeah, so you get one matchup a week and one waiver a week, and guys, your whole team's playing every night. Basketball is like everyone's on bye. It's tougher, I think, in that regard. Also, if you're a bigger baseball fan than a basketball
Makes sense.
fan,
Yeah.
then it's tough.
Which, speaking of fandom for our Ball Watch listeners, our Ball Watch insider, Ray here, is pretty much almost the exact same fandom as me and my brother. He's a Rangers fan. He is a Mets fan. He is a Giants fan, but he is not a Knicks fan. That's the difference. He's a Nuggets fan.
Yes,
And
sir.
I will stick up because he's not just a, oh, Jokic is good Nuggets fan. He's been a Nuggets fan for the entire time I've known him, which is going on literally almost 14 or, yeah, 14 years now, which is
Yep,
fucking crazy.
which is right about the time that the Knicks ripped my heart out trading for Carmelo Anthony, setting me into a tailspin for about 10 years. No, about like 7 years. But even when I had the chance to jump with Carmelo and join my boys back in New York, I don't switch teams. I watched a shit ton of Gallinari and Wilson Chandler on the IR with the NBA League Pass, so I literally had to pay to watch them on the IR. And then Ty Lawson and Kenneth Faried were the absolute ghosts. That's severed that time pre Jokic. So
The
I mean,
Manimal.
the Manimal was really one of the best players that was so disrespected, and I'll stand on business with that till this day.
Hey, I agree. I feel like he'd be if he was in the league now, like if he had just come in now, his career trajectory would be way different.
Right.
Would
And
it?
you think about like watching Aaron Gordon, which I do right now, and I love Mr. Nugget, but he is literally the same exact player as Kenneth Faried, except Kenneth Faried had a lot more energy.
Mm.
So the offensive rebounding game was crazy, but like Aaron Gordon's not the tallest guy in the court. He's baseline floater,
Yeah,
slamming and jamming. Kenneth Faried was the same style of guy. He just didn't have the Jokic setting him up. So he
the
did his
fact.
best.
That's a fact. I'm an Aaron Gordon fan myself. I do believe he should have won the 2016 Slam Dunk contest. I've spoken about
We
that a
all
lot.
do. We
Spoken
all
about that
do.
a lot. But
We all do. Was he on your draft the other day? Did you pick Aaron Gordon?
no, so I've been getting my ass kicked. Everybody knows this. I literally said I think that's the best one ever, but I couldn't believe my brother because he had the first overall pick, and he's a big Vince Carter fan. I couldn't believe he didn't go through the legs first. Like he went the 360 windmill. So I was like, well, I'm not giving you through both. And I think the through the legs is a better dunk. So I took then the 360 windmill. So I took it, and he was like freaking out, which I guess he shouldn't have been because he won anyway. He won anyway. So
Yeah,
it,
I mean the creativity and the difficulty of I know it went to overtime and they had to kind of like free lance it a little bit, but the level of difficulty of the spinning mascot on the hoverboard with
yes,
the ball on his head, where Aaron Gordon sat and
yes,
had his whole body 8 feet above the ground, his entire body, like not just, oh, I got my crotch through, like everyone today. we'll never see again. Like that was the best dunk in a dunk contest. How does someone get their entire body 8 feet above the ground without their feet even being below it? Like that was absurd. He should have won it right there. And then Levine did like the Jordan like free throw line dunk, which we've seen a million times, and they're like
Whack,
50. And I'm like,
whack,
man, that is tough. That is tough.
whack.
There's too many 50s.
I agree. I agree. The main problem I had, which I touched on this when the All-Star game was around, was Aaron Gordon did the mascot was spinning and then he grabbed it with one hand and came around like his 360 one.
Yep.
And then Zach Levine followed it with the same dunk, but without the mascot or anything as difficult. And they got the same score. And that was the problem.
Should have never
That was
made
the
it to
problem.
OT. Should have never made it to OT. That was magic, Aaron Gordon. We stand him then. We stand him now. You got robbed, AG.
Respect. He listens. He knows. He knows where we stand. He listens to Ball Watch.
Yes, he
Uh,
does.
Back to your baseball dynasty team. Do you want to tell us your team, or do you want to keep it a
Yeah, I
secret?
mean, I could run through a couple guys that I have without giving away exactly some things that we'll talk about later.
For sure, for
Um,
sure.
and I have to like for everyone out there, the baseball fantasy dynasty can be run many different ways. The way that we run it is a 28-man keeper on a 38-man roster, including a 9-player minor league farm system. And every single player is attached to a salary, and your team has to stay under a certain cap. And then the drafts every year are auctioned, so you only get as much cap space as you left your team heading into the offseason to bid on the draft in between years. So that is a little bit of how intense the deep and the dynasty runs.
Yeah.
Um,
I will
Thoughts?
stick to football. I'll stick to speaking a foreign language to me, dog.
All right, yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you some hot names. I mean, my entire franchise is built around Fernando Tatis Jr.
Really?
He actually got taken in the startup, the pick in front of me, and I made it my sworn mission to get him on my roster eventually. So 3 months
Wow.
later, I was able to trade for him, Kyle Tucker, straight up. And then we have our Mets. We have Brandon Nimmo,
Nice.
who is the King Met, Kodai Senga, Clay Holmes by accident.
Okay.
Um, Ronnie Mauricio, who's going to be coming up big. And then the minor leagues, we got Jet Williams and Drew Gilbert and Blake Tidwell. So the Mets are well represented on my team, as well as Adley Rutschman and Jackson Holliday for the Orioles.
Okay.
Yordan Alvarez is a big baller.
Oh yeah, he is.
And a couple pitchers, which I will name later. But yes, I know I lost Edwin Diaz going into this offseason as well. That was a
Yeah.
heartbreaker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know you got it. You got ideas for a team over there. So what do
Oh
you
yeah.
got?
I created a fantasy team right here for Dynasty. I think it's going to go very well. So my first round pick, I'm definitely for sure taking Juan Soto.
Juan Soto in the startup draft is an amazing, amazing pick. Generational top
100%.
three, top three, top two. Argue it a wall for a dynasty draft for sure.
26 years old, gonna be fucking a monster for the next however many years he plays, at least the next 15, but we know it's more.
And remember, no defense in this draft too. So I mean, it
Yes.
does not matter. That guy is certified.
It's all right. He's gonna win a gold glove with us too. I believe it. Then you're never gonna believe this. In the draft that I had for my second round, Judge was there for me for center field.
No, that is an amazing steal. I mean, I want to go to whichever preschool you're doing this draft at, and then I could get in that league too. But you're off to a fantastic start rebuilding the Yankees last year.
Well, if you think that's good, this guy he did have some off the field issues. Um, there was some gambling questions, so I think that hindered his draft stock because I got Otani at the DH.
Very, very, very limited by how much he is only eligible to play the DH, and in leagues that don't have a DH, you can't put him in at all.
Is that true?
So,
He's like
um,
full blown pitcher now. You have to use him as a pitcher.
for eligibility, full blown pitcher, if your league has DH spots or utility spots for DH, you can play him at both. If your team only does like outfield and shortstops and infield and blah blah, then he's a pitcher only. But who wants to play with pitchers only? You got to put a flex in there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, good to know. Good to know.
Very, very good start for you. Very good
Yeah.
start.
Nah, this is a genuine. I doubt it, but is it realistic to say like you would like Harper goes first round, right? There's no way I'm snagging him in the fourth.
So actually, there's definitely a way that you could snipe Bryce Harper in the third, probably. And if he went to the fourth in a particular league, you have to factor in his age there. He
The
also is very
dynasty.
limited to first base, which is a very deep position right now, and he'll definitely go third if you're in win now mode. But the age is a factor. There's some guys like Vladdy and stuff there that at that position you'd probably rather have.
That makes actually a lot of sense. I I mean, if my first three are Soto, Judge, Otani, then I don't mind Bryce in the fourth. But
I mean, take it right, correctly valued, my friend.
now, this might be for dynasty wise. Looking at that you just brought into my head, might not be the best option because I went Lindor in the fifth at shortstop.
We love Lindor for sure. I
Love it.
mean,
Love
we
it.
love Lindor. I mean, all he's going to do is finish top three in MVP for at least another couple of years. And by then, whoever else you have coming up the system will be ready to be a shortstop a couple of years from now. You can't go too young in Dynasty. You can't forget about the stars. Lindor is perfectly in his prime for your team.
So where was he going like in dynasty leagues?
Initial draft, he went in the third round of the initial
Okay.
draft. Yes, so he was right about there. I think that was a little bit earlier in his Mets tenure. So if we did a startup this year, his value is definitely in the top 20.
Okay. Yeah, so we're not getting him there. My next pick was I didn't want to go honestly, maybe it would have made more sense to go Alvarez if you're betting like, for the career, but I didn't want to go too many Mets on this one just yet. So I went with the only other catcher I know. And I added him to my team specifically because every team he's on, he wins a champ. They go to the World Series. Will Smith.
Will Smith. I mean, Will Smith is a team guy for sure. I want to know if you're talking about Will Smith the reliever or Will Smith the catcher.
It's funny you say that because it is the catcher. And you know what? I just found out not today, but not too long ago. Might have been a couple months ago. I thought it was the same Will Smith that was going to the World Series every year on different
Yeah,
teams.
I believe Will Smith, the reliever, was the one on the Braves and the Astros and was on that championship run a little bit. Will Smith is the most recent champion at catcher.
Okay.
So Will Smith run continues between both of them on like a 4 year streak, I believe.
It's unreal. It's actually unbelievable.
Yeah,
Uh,
you need that winning culture in your clubhouse.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I went him at catcher. Even though I genuinely think his statistics were or his stats were like really fucking terrible.
Did you take anyone that didn't finish in the top four in the real MLB last year? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of Dodgers, Yankees, and Mets, right?
I took some others. Well, first of all, I didn't realize because I don't know. Are there certain leagues where like you only get a pitching staff rather than specific pitchers or not?
That definitely depends on the league. You could go with starting pitchers. Normally, I'd see like seven starting pitchers and then like a handful of relievers, or you could just go with 10 pitchers with like just a P. So it could be any mix of whatever you want. Um, and it depends on if saves and holds have value at all, or if it's all just banging out starts. I mean, a lot of redraft leagues, you race to the waivers every day to get whoever the probable is
Okay.
and put up points like that. But that is an unbearable league to be in if one guy has every probable every morning. So that's up to your commission to fix that for you.
That sounds brutal. I wasn't sure, so I went with the Mariners pitching staff
All of
because
them, all of them, baby,
let,
all five, all
listen,
five.
listen. Do I know any of them besides Castillo? No. But I recently saw I think a post from ESPN about Justin Turner's comment on them. And he was like, I kept trying to tell the front office, you have a unicorn of a pitching staff here. Bring in some hitters. And he said that they didn't and they missed the window of opportunity. So I was like, that must mean they're nice as fuck. Give me the Mariners.
I would love to discuss the Mariners a little bit later because they are a team I have thoughts on to say the
Ooh.
least. So let's save that for a little bit later in the segment.
Sounds good. At my third base, went late round here. I went Nolan Arenado.
I mean, it's solid. It's classic. It's the last year you're going to have him. Your offseason strategy better be to replace him,
For sure.
but he should put up decent enough numbers that the rest of your team that magically appeared with you should be able to be all right.
And then my last, which I think this guy plays left field. I'm forgetting though. Jordan Alvarez.
Jordan Alvarez, yes. So I have him as well on my team.
Let's go.
Yes,
Let's go.
he definitely plays a little outfield still. Not this year coming up. Altuve is now a left fielder for Houston, if you didn't
Oh,
know.
hold I fucking skipped over him. I forgot to say that. Before Arenado, I have Altuve. I know he's switched to left field, but I've got him in my second base position as like a Taysom Hill type
Yes,
tight
he's
end QB.
eligible. He's eligible. He's eligible. Um, does he come with the trash can?
Oh, for sure. 100%. Are you kidding me? So
Okay, perfect.
absolutely. And the clicker, whatever he said, don't take my jersey off. Don't take my jersey off.
Oh, I always celebrate like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Then they don't worry. They won just a piece of metal, as the commissioner said. So way to belittle your own sport
Yeah, Rob
and
Manfred,
the
that
prize
guy.
coveted World Series trophy by saying it's just a piece of metal. Good job,
That guy,
commish.
Rob Manfred sucks.
What a buffoon.
Wait, so where is Jordan playing this year? Is he DHing?
Jordan will be strictly DHing, but he should still have the outfield eligibilities from last year. They carry over a little bit.
Okay.
But if you haven't played it like last year at all, then the following year you just lose it completely.
All right.
So if he plays only DH this year, so long outfield.
Well, that's my entire team that I drafted. I only drafted 10 spots, with the pitching staff. So I would say this team goes 162 and 0.
I think that you are definitely gambling a little bit with the off the field concerns, like the Judge and Soto feud, the
Very true.
Otani gambling scandal with the Altuve cheating scandal. I mean, you have a couple off the field issues in the locker room. How will they gel all around Francisco Lindor, who is the only king on that
Oh,
team?
oh, Captain, my captain. We'll
Okay.
touch on that later.
Yes.
But yeah. So, do you have it for your league? Does your team, do you have a projection yet? Like where it's saying you're gonna end up or no?
So it doesn't populate projections, and the website is Fantrax, which,
Mm.
if you have not heard of, it is not ESPN, CBS, or Sleeper, because it's very niche fantasy baseball. But this website is the most custable options that ever existed. So
Oh,
we
fire.
run it there. They do not do preseason projections. I would love if they did, but I think the league, like depending on your settings, can just get so fine that they can't really predict based on what your scoring setting is compared to everybody else. So it's tough. I'm projecting to maybe get into the wild card this year. I just missed it last year. I made some good offseason moves, and I'm hoping to get into the tourney this year. So
Hey, but Ball Watch is backing you. That's
yes,
it.
exactly. As long as Tatis doesn't pull his hamstring, be out for a week, and then miss 3 months, and Senga pitch 5 innings, and I lose a year of eligibility on him, then that would be nice. He came
Yeah,
back for 5 innings right when I needed him. He was dominant, and that was it. And that counts as a year of eligibility. So
that's brutal.
that's that's brutal. That's brutal. I hope it's for some better injury luck this year.
100%. 100%. But since we've gone over, some players for fantasy, why don't we get into some players to ball watch this year? Some that are gonna, catch your eye, who you might think take that next step.
All right, I got 3 players. I got a couple teams for you too. So
Hell yeah.
3 players first that you are going to love to ball watch is one Lawrence Butler from the Sacramento A's. He
Oh,
made
he's
a little
nice.
bit little bit of a splash last year coming on the scene, athletic freak, put up some big numbers. in his first full season of being a star there, hitting in front of Brent Rooker, who's great protection, you're going to see Lawrence Butler emerge and potentially be an all-star this year for the first time.
Look, if there's something I could bet on, I will because I said he's nice, but I don't know who he is, so I will be
The
looking for him.
whole point is that you will this year.
Yeah.
Lawrence Butler, all the way in Sacramento's minor league stadium, wherever they're at. Um, the second guy who is definitely going to be an absolute stud this year is someone that we saw a little taste of, and
Mm.
it was a bad taste. And it was Braves pitcher Spencer Schwellenbach, or Schwelly Box, as I call him. We saw him in the last week of the season just throw 7 shutties against the Mets twice in the last 10 games.
Yeah.
And we escaped the second one with a comeback victory after they pulled him. But
Yes.
this kid is young. He played half of a season, one of the higher prospects for the Braves, and he dominated all year long. That rotation is deep behind Sale and Strider, but Schwellenbach is going to be a staple there, unfortunately.
Fucking Braves, man. Who do you dislike more in our division? I think it's the Braves for me.
So there's nothing good I have to say about Philadelphia in any sport, in person, the
Mhm.
city itself, just like basically anything at all ever. So because of that, the bias goes. I will caveat unbiased. I don't eat cheesesteaks in New York because they're so much better in Philly. I will only eat
True.
cheesesteaks in Philly. They can have that. That's one, and I got 99 other reasons to hate it. So, I'll go with 99% Philly hater there
All
for
right.
sure.
I respect it. I respect it. I always fucking feel that no matter what, like the Braves just always somehow fuck us. Like it just doesn't matter how. And
Yeah, they do just as much as Miami does, and I agree with you. Or we don't have like struggles beating Philadelphia historically ever. I know that they definitely have the more recent title, more
yeah,
division wins, but whenever we play them head to head or in the playoffs, it's not like really we're scared of them.
yeah,
We just kind of usually split or win, and it's fine. So I understand that aspect you're coming from for sure.
it's
Atlanta and Washington, actually. I think my peak hatred was Washington from 2012 to 2017. Like, that was right when we were, like, in high school, coming up into college. Like, we weren't young kids where we're like, oh, we know what's going on
yeah,
for our team. And we're not like old heads that are like, I've seen every team be good and bad, and I don't have opinions anymore. The peak 5, 6 years of Washington with Bryce Harper
oh,
was the most that I hated a franchise in baseball ever. So overall, Philly, peak Washington, and of the recent years, obviously since 2021, Atlanta has been the thorn of our side, and that might change my answer if this run continues for them.
I think that's a great answer. I think that's a great fucking answer.
Yeah. What about a little shout out Miami though for every time we were a kid and we were about to be happy, they just swept us the last 3 games of the season to
Oh
to
yeah.
ruin our September collapses. I mean, thorn in our side. Miami's probably right number two. You know.
It's just I can't even. I really can't even. Fucking the Marlins, dude. The fucking Marlins. And then after all that, they got Jose.
I know. I know, bro. That was really tough. That was really tough. Who they
Absolutely.
gave Jose Reyes his number away, by the way. Did you have any opinions about that?
Well, okay, I know we feel a little differently about it possibly being retired. I I just think the way he left us the first time was a little bit of, and I know he did a lot when he was here the first time. But then I don't know how he kind of left with just like winning the batting title, then taking himself out of the game, then just, leaving. I think it left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. I love Jose Reyes. Don't get me wrong. I do think Francisco Lindor is already the best Mets shortstop of all time. Maybe recency bias. Who
Not
knows?
recency bias, just facts, just ball knowing
That's what I'm saying.
for sure.
But um, I don't know. I don't. Did you ever think it was going to be retired? Is that why you're not happy that they gave it away?
No, it's just like right after Reyes and Wright left, we did not know what was going to happen with those numbers because the Wilpons like had no interest in honoring any of our history whatsoever.
Yeah.
So those numbers were being held, and like they didn't even build a statue for Tom Seaver, the franchise, who retired in the 70s until, I mean, in the 80s, sorry, until after he died. He died, and then they're like, oh, let's honor him with a statue. Like, man, he had so many years to see that thing himself. So if that's your best player in franchise history, how could you expect anyone else to get honored? With Jose Reyes specifically, though, I was not banging the table like retire it, retire it, retire it. I
Mhm.
do understand like the incompetency of the Wilpons, and he left because the Wilpons had
Oh yeah.
zero communication with Jose Reyes about staying. So the way he left us was more the Wilpons like forcing him to leave us and then blaming him
I'm
for it,
sure.
which he did a good job of. So it's tough. It's tough. I mean, it's tough. You hear all these guys like Zach Wheeler and stuff where they want to come back, and Zach Wheeler, they were like, oh, but for that playoff run, you have to buy your own tickets to go because you're on IR. Like
Yeah.
that's how they were really treated around here. And then Zach Wheeler's fantastic pitcher. Like he went to Philly, don't get me wrong. But if the Wilpons told me and I was a part of a team and a big part of it that I had to buy my own playoff tickets to get in for me, my family, whatever, then maybe I would just go down the turnpike too. I mean, it's personal. So I don't hold any of those personal moves against those guys, honestly.
I'd show them the double birds. The Wilpons literally worst owners, not in baseball. I would go take it further as all sports. They fucking sucked. I'm
Definitely
so
top five in all sports. There's some bad ones. There's some
yeah.
bad ones. So.
They're up there though for sure. But I don't know. Maybe I mean I could maybe they will end up retiring it one day, even though Beatty's wearing it right now. But maybe they'll end up retiring it for Beatty. We
Oh,
believe. We believe on this pod. We believe.
oh, maybe. I mean, they let Iglesias go for a reason, right? So we'll get
Uh,
into Mets talk a little bit later.
who's your final player?
Final player, and stay with me here. Colorado Rockies. Jordan Beck, outfielder for the Colorado Rockies. But I mean, I don't want you to watch this team for anybody else. Nobody else in this lineup deserves to even be looked at for a single second. Shout out Ryan McMahon though. Like I know he's solid, but Jordan Beck has some pretty like high upside, and if they get a hitter or two to be around him in that cluster, he's going to have like a very big effect on that team. And I could see him being like Jaren Duran from Boston.
Mm.
So shout out if you accidentally see a Rockies game by accident, or they're just playing the Mets and you're noticing there's a guy on that team that's pretty nice. It's probably Jordan Beck this year.
That sounds good to me. I'll be on lookout for him
Yes, yeah.
because I don't know him. But now I do. Thanks to our Ball Watch Insider. Now I fucking do. I've got a couple players to watch.
Let's hear it.
All right. May not have heard of this guy before. Juan Soto. Think he's gonna have a year. Think he's gonna have a year.
I
Uh,
would think so. I would think so.
uh, I also think Lindor is gonna have a fucking great year again. And
Even better.
then we saw Vientos take. I won't say his full stride yet. I'll say we saw him take that step last year. I think it's going to continue into his stride this year. And I think after a down year last year, Alvarez is going to come back with a great year this year.
He's got a new stance. He's got a
Yes.
new attitude.
Yes.
And he is one of the hardest working guys in that lineup. So as well as with him being a dominant defensive catcher, ERA handling the staff, his offensive numbers will come back to his 20 homer season he had when he was 20 years old 2 years ago. So
I believe
I
it.
mean, nothing but sky's the limit for that guy. I love the shout out from you. And I'll give you a bonus Mets one too. I will not let the national media forget about the type of player that Ronnie Mauricio is.
Oh,
As
yeah.
soon as the Mets put him in this lineup, he will be like 7, 8, 9 that you do not want to face. And after you're done with Ronnie Mauricio, it's back to the top.
I
And Ronnie
can't wait.
Mauricio is going to be the guy that makes that jump.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm excited. Which leads me into my team to ball watch. It's the Mets, if you guys didn't know. It's the Mets.
That's sort
That's
of the
my only
number
one.
number number one team. And I saw the MLB power rankings the other day. The Mets are projected to be the sixth best team in baseball, top six. Lucky for us, though, we are ranked third in our division because Atlanta and Philadelphia are ranked 3 and 4, and
Oh
we are
my.
6. So we are hitting our peak at the exact worst time humanly possible. Got a shout out timing for the Mets. Shout out timing.
That's very fucking funny. It's also, I think it's fucking bullshit. How could you say with the moves that the Mets made this offseason, adding, if you, some people I'm sure would call him maybe the best player in baseball. Some people might say that's too much, but he's one of the best players in baseball. And you literally added him to an already great team that lost in the NLCS, that took the champions to more games than the Yankees did, I'll add, or anyone else in the playoffs. So I don't understand how, with us making those moves and still bringing Pete back, where these other teams are ahead of us, and we beat Philly in the playoffs. But whatever, whatever. We're
Yeah,
underdogs, I guess. Top
they're,
six and
they're, they're
underdogs.
sleeping on the Jeremy Hefner pitching factory. It's because we don't have Zach Wheeler or Chris Sale at the top of our rotation. It's
Very true.
because of all these different things. But we do have the Samoan Sale and Sean Manaea and Kodai Senga fully healthy. So we have the 1-2 horses. And let
Yes.
the staff cook on the rest of the rotation, man. I mean, you're going to see guys like Griffin Canning actually be solid 5 starters for some reason. So, I mean, that's where they're going to get us in the rankings strictly because I know it's not Alec Boehm, Brandon Marsh, Max
No.
Kepler, and Bryson
Yeah.
Stott. I mean, I
That.
know that. I know that's why. I mean, JT Realmuto off of down your ass, and
That.
Castellanos when the sun is shining is terrible. I mean, when it's a good day. So, I
Uh,
mean, it's a lot to shoulder for just Bryce there. Trey Turner.
I'm fucking with you. So we'll see. We'll see what it is. What teams do you have us looking out for ball watching this
I
year?
got I got 3 teams for you for sure that you're definitely going to want to ball watch, and one of them is the Chicago Cubs. The Chicago
Really?
Cubs, the Chicago Cubs are definitely my pick to win the Central this year. I know that they just made the big, flashy Kyle Tucker move, but
Mhm.
there is a reason. It's because they are on the cusp of winning that division, which is a terrible division, by the way. We keep seeing
Awful.
Milwaukee in the playoffs every year. How? How is Milwaukee in the playoffs to be? That's how bad everybody else is. But I'm saying it's up for grabs. The Cubs do not have to win 95 games to win this division. They could be right at 88, which is where I have them projected. Third baseman Matt Shaw is a stud coming up as a rookie. Kyle Tucker, I mentioned before. Dansby Swanson. Michael Bush is going to have a big year. Ian Happ always does. And Mets legend Pete Crow Armstrong, who has taken over the reins in center field there as a defensive
Yes.
menace and one of the fastest guys in baseball. So their lineup is stacked, and their rotation is about 8 deep with Ryan Presley at the back of the pen, who they also just traded for from Houston. So injury riddled or not, this team is going to be in the top of the Central. Ball watch them.
Wow. Wow. I might have put them in almost last in my division thing, which we'll get to, but now we're watching them. Now we're watching them.
Yes, we will get to them too. I got a fun one for you at number 2, right? And I mentioned this a little bit before. If you want to have fun watching baseball this year, watch the Sacramento Athletics. I mean,
Ooh.
your East Coast games are ending at 10 o'clock, at 9:30. Throw on the Sacramento Athletics because this team is going to be fantastic this year. Still have
Hey,
appearances
Kelly, what's up?
from Kelly Midpod. Hello. Yes. So what I was saying, the Sacramento Athletics, headed by Luis Severino, the ace, who they gave a big stadium tour to after the signing. Did you see that video? They walked him around the stadium in his new athletic dreads, and it was around the minor league stadium in Sacramento as like a team promo video. And
I
it
didn't
is
see
just
that.
they should have just skipped that and did the press conference room with the drapes in the back.
Yeah.
But their stadium is not what I'm hyping up here. I'm hyping up all the good young talent they have. Lawrence Butler, I mentioned before. Brent Rooker was absolutely phenomenal last year, and he will continue on that pace. Tyler Soderstrom at first base, 23-year-old kid. He has the
Yes.
best baseball savant page I've ever seen. 1, 2, 3 in the lineup with JJ Bleday, who is someone that I have a share of as well.
Okay.
Former Marlins prospect. This team rakes, and they traded for Jerry Springs from the Rays. They have Joey Estes and Shea Langoliers, who is a top five catcher right now. So the A's, they'll put up runs. They have some good young pitching. They'll be fun. They will not be in the playoffs, but they'll be closer than you think.
Okay. Good to honestly, good to know. And honestly, it seems sad that they left Oakland because if they're going to be this fun, you know?
They're going to be, if they were a little bit fun last year, they're going to be a little bit more fun this year. So I know I feel bad for Oakland. They should still have the Raiders. They are a passionate fan base up there. They should still have the Athletics. They have a really bad owner, and we talked about before. And I do feel for them a little bit for sure.
They lost the Warriors too.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did. Not as far though, but
Not as fun.
still, they did lose them. Not as far. And team number three, final team to look out for. And this team is, I say this cautiously
Mm.
because this team is one of the best teams on paper every single year. They basically invented the term on paper because we've never seen them actually do anything. But every year you look at that roster and you're like, you know what? It might click this year. So I just got to shout it out. Give me the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh.
The Toronto Blue Jays, the Toronto Blue Jays getting to 80 wins and being in the wild card mix is not out of the realm. They did some work with the pitching staff. I know they have Scherzer. That's not why they're here. They have Kevin Gausman, Barrios, and Bowden Francis, who was a breakout star last year at the top three. So
Mm.
Scherzer and Bassett fall in like the 4 or 5. They have two guys coming up in the wings, including Trey Savage. But the lineup is really where it's like this should click. And you know what I'm talking about? Every year, like, why is this lineup not clicking? Vladdy is going to be fantastic again. Bo Bichette is also on a contract year. Don't know what we're going to get from him, but people like to make money. So we should be seeing the best of Bo Bichette. They traded for, I mean, they signed Anthony Santander, adding
Yes.
40 bombs to the lineup. They traded for Andres Jimenez, who was just an all-star in Cleveland. They still have George Springer, and they have a star in the making, which I'm going to mention later on. But their lineup and their
Mm.
pitching staff is definitely good enough that they should be in the mix. And they traded for Jeff Hoffman to be in the back end too. So 80 plus wins for the Blue Jays may or may not be good enough to sneak in if it all clicks. Just keep an eye out.
I'll keep an eye out. I mean, I don't hate that. They've got future Met Vladdy over there, so I will keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I mean his final send off to Toronto is going to be something special to watch out for this year. He's going to go nuclear.
100%. 100%. But you know who's not going to go nuclear? The players and teams that we do not have on ball watch. We instead have them on BBL watch because they're ass. They're going to be ass.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
I I've got a couple of players here. I, might just be me, but it could be the on paper thing that you said as well. I feel like on paper, Garrett Cole and Rodon are always supposed to be good fucking pitchers, and I feel like they always suck. So I've got them on BBL watch this year.
I'll give some credits too to shake half bias. Rodon did have his first like okay season with the Yanks last year. It was streaky. He was pretty okay. All he's got to be is okay. So maybe Garrett Cole is fantastic in the regular season. He was fantastic in the playoffs last year. That was not something he's done in both a regular and postseason ever before. So can he do a full double run twice back to back years of being really good? Nick doesn't think so.
I'm betting no. I'm betting no. And every single clip that I've seen of Rodon this spring is somebody hitting a home run off him every time.
including his own team during
Yeah,
innings.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
I saw
including
the
his
Inniss
own
squad
team.
once too.
So
Whatever pitches he's working on, forget him, brother. Forget him. Forget him.
I got them two on BBL watch. This might be controversial, but and I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this one. I have Mike Trout on BBL watch. This is a Mike Trout truth podcast. Um, I had a take, I think, in one of our first episodes that, which he made me look terrible for it in the World Series. that Aaron Judge would have a better career than Mike Trout because Mike Trout is just always injured. And it's not that there's a bad take because looking at the numbers, they're not close. But I do feel like in order to be able to watch them, they got to be on the field. And he's just never on the field.
That is true. You love to see the adjustment from the Angels going with Mike Trout in right field.
Yeah.
You could even go with him at DH at this point. I don't really care if he plays the field at all. He needs to be in the lineup. And every time he starts out in April playing, he's hitting like a 400 clip when the injury happens.
I
So
know. I know.
there's never been a fall off. And you think if they just take him off the field and tell him that he can only steal 10 bags this year instead of trying to get 30, that he'll play most of the season this time. But we'll
Hey,
see.
hopefully. I mean, because right now, and again, I know I'm not I don't know any of the war plus, all the stuff. I know he's got those stats like that make him one of the greats, but he's never won a playoff series. And I don't really know if you can really be one of the greats of all time. If you're like,
Yes.
I'm not saying a ring,
I will correct you though. He's never won a playoff game.
even worse,
Yeah, even
even
worse.
worse.
They got swept in three in 2014. I think that was they got swept in three straight games and never made it back. They were the one
Oh,
seed that year though. They were the one seed.
oh, that's so gross. And to think that him and Otani played together for what, maybe 4 or 5 years, and they
Too
didn't win
many.
it. How many?
Too many. Too
Yeah,
many years.
to not win anything. So that he's on my BBO watch. My final one, and this is just more from hatred, and I'm honestly forgetting his fucking name right now. The pitcher the Dodgers signed this year, I hate him.
Oh,
Uh,
Blake Snell.
no,
Oh, Kirby Yates.
no, the one from Japan.
Oh, Roki Sasaki.
Yeah, there we go. Roki Sasaki. That guy's gonna fucking suck. Like Yamamoto. Yamamoto wasn't even that good. I'm sure the
No.
numbers might say differently, but they're both gonna suck.
Yeah, Yamamoto definitely wasn't that good yet, for sure. So we might have dodged a $350 million bullet with him, even if he is a serviceable 2 or 3 starter. That's not what I want to spend 350 mil on, which is what the bid was up to. So
Yeah, fuck that.
yeah, for sure. All right, I got some BBL guys myself as well. Some passionate ones here too. First off, if I got to hear anything about Cabrian Hayes, the third baseman of the Pirates, ever again, it's gonna make me go insane because the amount of times that this guy was a breakout candidate and he feels like he's been like a top prospect for them for like 8 years and
Ugh.
cannot hit over 220, but I'm still seeing him go high in drafts because this is the year. He is the Kyle Pitts of baseball.
Oh, I
And
love that
no,
comparison.
and no, he is not going to break out this year. He never has. At least Pitts had 1,000-yard year at the beginning. Cabrian Hayes is straight ass. And if Pittsburgh's serious around this rotation, they will finally get rid of him and just let him start somewhere else. It's
Ass. He's on BBL watch.
ass. Second, and this one, I hope that you agree with me. One of the worst players to don the All-Star title, disgustingly, Diamondback shortstop Gerardo Perdomo,
Oh my God.
and get the eye roll on cue. He
Oh
just
my
got
God.
granted a 4-year contract extension while the Diamondbacks have the number 11 overall prospect in baseball, Jordan Lawler, the shortstop in the realm of getting called up or even making the opening day roster. But Perdomo was worth a 4-year extension. He made the All-Star game over Francisco Lindor in 2022, which I will never understand to this day. He didn't even start for his own team on the Diamondbacks World Series run. Didn't even start. I mean, this guy is terrible. He will continue to be terrible. I'll personally hate him forever because of the All-Star game.
Yes.
And you can look at his stats and tell me I'm wrong, but he is going to be ass.
No, I will say you're 100% right. Guy sucks. He's on BBL watch. Get him out of here.
So
Bye.
long. And the final guy, and this one hurts me as just a baseball fan. We saw a trade last year with the Orioles going for it because the Orioles' young hitters need some pitching to go along with it. They won 100 games. They fell short. Last year was supposed to be the year they come back. They're like, let's trade 2 top 5 prospects to Miami to get Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers is certified buns. I mean, this guy literally couldn't even make the starting rotation in Miami because of injuries, and then also just because he had like over a 5 ERA. The the Orioles trade 2 top 5 prospects for him just to pitch 3 games and get sent down to AAA in the middle of a pennant race. And that was their big deadline move with all their prospect depth. It drives me insane. He will not bounce back. That trade will always be the worst trade that ever happened. And they're not getting saved, the GM. It's a fireball offense almost.
That I wish my brother was here for this because you know, he has multiple teams. He is the Mets, but then his AL team is the Orioles. And last year he was like, "Oh, my Orioles, they might be out. They're back. They might be out. They're back." So I would love to know if he feels that this guy's gonna be ass. But I'm going with our insider. He's gonna be ass.
He's
He's
going
on
to be ass.
BBL watch.
He's going to be ass. And we have to remember for ball watchers out there, if you love the sport, you don't can love just more than your own team. I appreciate that he has other teams he likes. I usually like a team in every sport that's in the opposite conference from mine, so that I could have 2 chances of maybe having some fun watching sports. I will never claim those teams as my own. I will just be outside the box, rooting for them myself and having some fun. For me, since I was younger, it was Texas Rangers, who also did literally nothing their entire existence up until 2023. So,
Bro.
um, shout out Ian Kinsler, for sure, one of the best second basemen that ever played the game in my eyes. But yeah, I appreciate his Orioles take. I like the Orioles too. Having shares of Jackson Holiday and Adley, man, I'm always watching those games.
Hey, there. I might. I don't know. Where do I have them? Oh shit! I've got them in a certain spot in our division. We'll get there in a sec. You got any teams that are on BBL watch? Again, I'm not. I don't really follow too many of the other teams. Stupid me. I had the A's on here. We're taking them off. Taking them off. I also had the
Hey,
Orioles there. Might have to take them off. I don't know.
well, we don't know yet because, like we just said, they are doing nothing smart. So you could probably leave them there for now.
Uh,
Nothing smart.
and then I
Um,
said I said all of the NL East besides the Mets because fuck them all.
the NL East, yeah, yeah,
Besides the
for sure.
Mets. Besides the Mets.
Forget them all. I got 3 teams for you too. We're just gonna skip over the White Sox. I don't think that they deserve to get talked about more than they already get kicked. So let's
Yeah.
skip over them. Um, the we touched on this a couple minutes ago. The Los Angeles Angels. Okay.
Ass.
This team
Yes.
this team is not only ass, but they're like mega ass. And everyone gets they get so much like free passes from the media. The Otani, the Mike Trout careers fumbling, the
Dude.
Rendon contract, like
Dude.
everything going on in LA, they just get a free pass. No one mentions them. The White Sox get all the hate. Like all these other teams get all the hate. The Angels are probably worse than the White Sox, like by far. It is ridiculous the lineup they're rolling out, and it's frustrating, man. I mean, forever. Like, back to the Pujols deal, the CJ Wilson deal.
Yeah.
Like Rendon is already out for the season. He doesn't even care, man. I
He's
mean,
done for the year.
and then the last year of Otani's tenure there. This is where I get a little ranty. The they had the chance to stop being the worst franchise ever by trading Otani before he walked for free.
Yep.
And they were like, we're going for it. Let's get Lucas Giolito from Boston or wherever he was. They trade for Giolito and one other pitcher to go for the wild card. They don't Giolito gets hurt immediately. They lose 20 of the last 30 games. Otani walks for free. At some point, like, when are you gonna just like commit to knowing your ass instead of trying to band-aid everything? And fix it. You had a golden ticket and Shohei Otani. He walked out the door for free because you were going for it, trading prospects along the way. It is ridiculously inept. And I'm going to give them all the hate that they deserve and leave the
Yes.
White Sox alone because the Angels are the worst franchise.
Yes. I love this so much. Another one of the worst owners in baseball, they say, for that franchise. But this just ties it again. Mike Trout got to be on the field, you know. So I love that the Angels are also on BBL watch with their star.
Yeah, they're going to be losing like a lot more games than everyone thinks they're gonna. I think they're going to be in the 60s or the low 70s
Might have to
for
bet
sure.
against them and see what
Yeah,
happens. Every
I, they do have some key additions for you, including J.D. Davis and Travis d'Arnaud this year.
Oh,
Two
nice.
guys that you might know. They brought in to shore up the bench that already doesn't exist. So maybe they'll get some burn there.
I guess
And
we'll see.
so the next team I got, this is a little surprising for you. I think I don't like anything that this team did this year, and they're strong Milwaukee vibes.
Hmm.
But it's finally time for the reign of the Cleveland Guardians to end.
Wow.
The Cleveland Guardians are consistent division winners, but they do not make moves to win. They make moves to lose and win because they're lucky the players overperform. And I think that has to stop at some point. The ownership is so cheap there. They only traded Lindor to us because they didn't want to pay him.
Yeah.
Every time someone is really good there, CC Sabathia, Bartolo, like go back as far as you want. Those guys are all Hall of Famers like on other teams because Cleveland lets them go. And they just think that they can keep manufacturing this talent. And at some point, it has to end. I drew the line this year with the Josh Naylor trade. He
Yes.
was fantastic for them. He was due to get paid. And they were like, let's just get Slade Ciccone straight up 1-for-1 for him and trust our pitching factory is going to turn it out, which Ciccone might. But this team just gets worse and they add nobody. Um, Carlos Santana is coming back to play first base. He's 39 years old now. And Lord help Jose Ramirez, one of the unsung heroes of the
I
sport of
know.
baseball and someone that like just gets no recognition ever. Should most loyal person ever, consistent, never had a down year ever. And kind of like a Trout situation there where the team just doesn't help him, except this time the team overperforms to help him. And then they go, okay, you do the rest. And like they just can't get over that hump. They were close in 2016. They let everyone go. This middle infield between Brian Rocchio and Juan Brito is terrible. Will Brennan in right field, Lane Thomas in center. I mean, Kyle Manzardo's DH and a Bo Naylor is not a serious catcher. I mean, Jose Ramirez is the only guy in this lineup, like legitimately now, without Andres Jimenez, who got traded away, and Naylor, who got traded away. The pitching rotation is terrible. Maybe BB will come back and be good. Luis Ortiz, Tristan McKenzie had a real bad year. Bieber needs to be healthy, but it's not deep there either. If you think they're good because the lineup, they're not. The starters, they're not. Don't worry, Clase's got it. If he has no leads to hold, he's useless. Cleveland is on ass watch this year.
Wow. I am so glad you told me this. Somebody might have had them winning that division in their division previews. Might have to get them out of there.
Hey, listen,
Have
you,
to get
you want
them
to
out
talk
of
about
there.
it? You want to talk about a team, like I said, that has every single person overperform for no reason. We might see Kyle Manzardo in the All-Star game at this point this year, man. I mean, it's hard to doubt what this team, like their player development is clearly elite, and I will give them the credit where it's due for their past success. I'm just projecting that their run of hitting on unsung players is going to end this year.
All right. All right. Who's our final? Or was
Our
that was
fi- our final team is a team that I think is going to threaten the very fresh record of most losses ever in a single season, and
really?
and that is the projected 38 win Colorado Rockies this year.
Oh.
We mentioned them a little bit before with Jordan Beck, but they do not have a single pitcher that's different than last year. They didn't bring in anybody else. God knows how Herman Marquez is still pitching there. Everyone's got a high ERA with no help on the way. And then they have a bunch of star hitters that are supposed to break out. I know Brenton Doyle is going to be good, and I shout out my boy Jordan Beck. But I'm not buying this lineup. Jacob Stallings, Chris Bryant. I'm not buying it. Thairo Estrada, Ezekiel Tovar is okay. I don't know if he's going to get to that jump people think, but
Hmm.
underperformances all around, including Nolan Jones. And you can't even name anybody in the bullpen. This team is just really bad. And the reason they're going to threaten the record is because the other four teams in the West, I believe, are top 8 teams in the NL. So half their schedule is going to be just getting swept by their own division.
It's going to be interesting. Uh, how much do you think Chris Bryant regrets that contract?
Dude, there's some people, and you have to ask them personally, how much do they love the game? I thought Bryant was a competitor, so he's a little different. But when you have that much money, do you regret cashing in? Or how important that's to you? It's a question for every man. For Rendon, he went ham for the Nationals. Ham.
Yeah,
He wanted to get paid and moved to LA. He did both. He doesn't like baseball that much. He was just good at it. And now
that's
he
so
doesn't regret that
ridiculous.
at all. And Chris Bryant, I believe, is different in that scenario. But you know, when you sign with Colorado, what you're signing up for. I don't think that team can ever be good until they move, um, which is unfortunate because I do not want Colorado to lose their team, but it's physically impossible to pitch there.
Yeah.
Um, and we saw their miracle run with Matt Holliday in '08. They got some good pitching, winning a lot of road games. But if your home field is a disadvantage and that's where you play half your schedule, I mean, you can build whatever roster on paper you want, and it's just not in the cards.
Yeah, it sounds like the Rockies might have the fattest BBL in history. Not
Yeah,
just
they
of the
do.
season, in history, the way you're
They
talking.
do. But they also have Nikola Jokic over there in Denver. So, I mean, how bad can you really feel for them?
Hey, not bad with Nicola. Not bad. All right. I'm glad we know of what teams that we're ball watching for, what teams that are on BBL watch that we're steering away from. Let's get into the divisions. Now, we don't have to go too in depth here because
Oh,
obviously nothing has been, nothing has happened yet. But I just want your predictions of how the divisions shakes out. So we'll start with the AL East. I'll tell you mine first, and then you can give me yours.
go for it.
I think the Yankees are going to win it. Unfortunately, fuck them. Uh, I think the Red Sox with those late moves might stir the pot a little. So I've got the Yankees, Red Sox, the Blue Jays, the Rays. I put, and then the Orioles. That seems like an all-time bad move, but we'll see. You said we'll see. You said we'll see. So that's what I've got there.
We will see. We're definitely a little bit different here. I mean, and it is more fun when we disagree than when we
Yes.
agree, I think. So, some hot takes here. I do have the Yankees winning the division as well.
Okay.
94 wins. Their staff is just too good, and Judge being in that lineup is too good. Second, I got the Orioles.
Okay.
92 wins. I think it's close. They have so much talent that if they make an actual good deadline move, then they really should be up there in the mix just on their offense alone. Third, I got Tampa Bay at
Ooh.
87 wins. This team we haven't got into, but they're getting Shane McClanahan back. He just won a Cy Young before he got injured. They have a fantastic 1 through 5 rotation, and they just pump out ridiculous amounts of upside hitting like Cleveland does. And they just fight, and the Yankees can't beat them, and they'll tell you that themselves. And they're just one of those teams with nobody on it you can name, but they're fantastic. Junior Caminero, also rookie. Next in fourth is my Blue Jays, right around 80 wins. I told you they'll be right on the cusp at 80.
Okay.
And we're still ball watching them just in case, because I think that's the floor.
I
And in
like it.
last, I have the Boston Red Sox in last place. I think that they are one season away from being in the top two. This
Okay.
is going to be a big growth year with having 3 top 12 prospects. Um, but they're right there soon.
Hey, I like the way your division is shaked out, even though it's different than mine. Why do I think the Orioles are going to finish last? I have no idea. No
It's all
idea.
vibes.
Just
It's
was
all
like,
vibes.
hey, maybe you know what? It kind of in my head. I kind of was looking at them the way I looked at C.J. Stroud this year. It was like I just think it's going to be a little bit of a regression, but who knows? Who
They
knows?
just did that last year. So now it's year three, Stroud. You know what I mean?
That's a good take. That's a good take. All right, I'll move them above the Rays. That's what I've got. All right, let's go AL Central. I did have the Guardians ahead. I think I'm going to bump them down a little. I think you've swayed me. Actually, I can't. I can't do it. I'll just leave them there for now. I wrote down. I've got the Guardians, then the Royals, the Tigers. I think the Twins are not going to be good. That's just me though. And the White Sox.
Okay, I'm a little bit different than you. Yes, I
Guys,
have a
listen
little bit
to
different than you.
the Ball Watch Insider. Listen to him.
You need devil's advocate here. I mean, we need devil's advocate here. I do have in first place being the Twins this year, yeah, which is amazing. Which is amazing.
That's incredible.
This
You could
this
have
is a
said
division
this.
that I could see any of the four teams winning. So I'm not a banging the table Minnesota Twin guy.
Okay.
This is just the vibe. I have them winning the division at 89,
Okay.
and the Tigers being in second at 88. We saw some flash from them. They had a little bit. If the oh my god Mets weren't happening, the Tigers
Yeah,
would have been the story of baseball. So
literally.
they definitely have the pieces to continue to go. So Twins, Tigers. Then we got the Royals in
Okay.
third. That three-headed monster staff, their playoff run, like they're only getting more experience as well. The Guardians definitely going to be in fourth for me. I told you why I'm low on them before. And the White Sox in last. Sorry.
We agree. We agree.
We agree on that.
No, I liked it. That's another. I mean, I know the NL Central is like a bad division. I don't know if necessarily the AL Central is bad. I do feel like it's weaker. I feel like they just tend to beat up on each other a whole bunch, and then everybody else beats up on them.
Yeah, we saw this division have three playoff teams last year. That easily
Oh,
could be the case again. But the AL is so much overall weaker than the NL that this is basically like the NL West of the AL, but
yes.
they all have 10 wins less. But they're all close to each other. So I don't know what the hell is going to happen in the AL Central, the most irrelevant division in baseball.
Agree. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. AL West. I don't know what I'm.
Angels won.
Hell no. We've got the Angels last for sure. Uh, I went Mariners one, that pitching, that Justin Turner comment. Then the Rangers, then the Athletics, then the Astros, because I feel like they've lost some people, and Altuve in left field. What the fuck is that? And then the Angels.
Okay. I have a different, as you would imagine.
Let's go.
Um, I have the Astros in first this year. Um, and as much as I hate like the Astros losing everybody, like they also added low key, they added Christian Walker, they
True.
added Isaac Paredes, they lost Kyle Tucker, but they added two big bats. They still have Jordan Alvarez, Altuve, and Jeremy Pena. So I'm not in on any of their outfielders really, but they do are they do have six strong hitters in the lineup. And then the pitchers also is a very deep staff as well. Valdez, Hunter Brown, Renel Blanco threw the no hitter last year, Christian Javier, Wineski, Luis Garcia. The list goes on, and then they got two-headed monster in the bullpen with Brian Abreu and Josh Hader. So I just think like they're still sneaky deep, and they're still the Astros. So even though those bottom three in the starting lineup aren't to die for,
Mhm.
that team is still going to be good.
I like it.
Two. I got the Texas Rangers. They
Hey.
definitely need to bounce back from their World Series form. I think they will. They were very injured. They had some regression from Jonah Heim and Jung at third base, but they definitely are going to get DeGrom back for a little bit.
The GOAT.
They got Rocker and Leiter coming up, looking a little bit better. They made some good moves. Jake Berger, player to watch from Miami in that Texas lineup.
Hmm.
He might go nuclear. Jake Berger. I'm rooting
Okay.
for him. So I got Texas in second, game behind the Astros. That could go either way. A couple more spots down, the Mariners. We love the Big Five,
We
but
love
to your point, they and this is what I saved before. Now I'm going to tell you what I think about the Mariners. The Mariners get me almost as angry as the Angels, just because they refuse to get hitting. I know it's not a good hitter's park, but Citi Field is only ranked a little bit above it, and we turn out runs like animals, and we
Yeah.
try to get offensive players. This team traded for Randy Rosarina and Justin Turner at the deadline. Wasn't good enough. You only get the five aces for like a 2 to 3 year window. You
Yeah.
have Julio Rodriguez already. So you have the piece in the lineup to build around. And you're throwing guys out there like Luke Raley, Dylan Moore, Victor Robles, Jorge Polanco, and like the ghost of Mitch Haniger. I mean, I understand that the big dumper Cal Riley is fantastic. Randy will be a little better, and Julio Rodriguez is good. But three, that's all you can get is three hitters. You're not winning a division with three hitters. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think you're right.
Because
I
how
think
many
I
years
was
did we
wrong.
suck? How many years do like teams suck and they have nobody? And this team has five legit ace candidates. And they're like, let's just waste this whole thing. You know, it's like rich people throwing out money. It just is like, why are you doing that? It gets me angry. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's the Mariners. And then give me the Athletics next, super fun. And then last, the Angels, really a garbage organization. And last,
Yeah, they're terrible. They're fucking god awful. But I'm excited to see. I've been jotting down your picks, so we'll eventually get my brothers too, and we'll see how things end up towards the end of the season.
yeah, please do. I'll send you this note too as
Yeah.
well.
Um, all right, let's go to the NL West. I've got I think this one could potentially be where we end up the closest, maybe. I've got the Dodgers winning to nobody's surprise. I've got the Padres following behind your boy Fernando Tatis. I've got the Diamondbacks finishing in third, the Giants in fourth, and then the Rockies last.
Yeah, that's very close. I do have the Diamondbacks and Padres switched,
You have the
but
Diamondbacks at two.
I have the Diamondbacks at two. I really like what they did this offseason, especially like a team that needs an ace and just go get one in Corbin Burns. I think that
Hmm.
makes a huge difference. Brandon Fett should take a jump up this year. Eduardo Rodriguez is going to be healthy. Zach Gallen, don't forget him. They got just as good of a pitching staff as the Mariners, maybe a little bit worse. But their offense is ridiculous. Like when you look at their team, you think about their offense and their numbers and where they rank in MLB. But the pitching staff gets better, and you're returning the same offense and adding Josh Naylor for free.
You
The only problem you
gotta
have is that you still have Gerardo Perdomo instead of your top prospect. I mean, besides that, this team is loaded, ready to roll. So I do like the Diamondbacks in second and the Padres in third. They didn't add anybody. They threatened to trade Michael King and Cease. They're already thinking about selling at the deadline. They lost Profar, who was their clutchest player by far last year.
Yeah.
Bogarts is a little older. They lost Hung Sung Kim too. So I didn't see them add anything, and I think the Diamondbacks added two big players.
I like that. I like that. I'm
Too
gonna
bad the Dodgers exist. You know, it
yeah.
sucks. It sucks for us to run into the playoffs with them, but imagine being San Diego and the Diamondbacks and just going, no matter how elite you are at 95 wins,
The Dodgers
second
have like
wild card
110.
at best. Second wild card at best.
The Central, this terrible division. So you did say to watch out for the Cubs. I'm not going to change where I had them originally. I had the Brewers doing it again because I feel like the Brewers just always do it.
Always do it. Always be doing it. Cleveland Guardians are the Brewers of the AL.
Yeah. Then
Those two teams.
I had the Reds because I just always see Ellie De La Cruz. No, nothing else, just that.
Just that. Okay.
Then the Pirates, Paul Skeens. Then the Cubs,
Oh
and then the
Lord.
Cardinals.
Oh Lord. I love the Cardinals take. I'm so like in on them being ass. I'm surprised actually that neither of us mentioned them in the prior segment. If we can add elite team, get
Adam.
St. Louis on that list.
I had
Um,
yeah, Adam in for sure.
literally terrible. Just such a bad team. They have so many like players that are good individually, and then they just lose games. I mean, you watch their record last year, you're like, oh, like Goldschmidt, Arenado, they're doing okay, like Jordan Walker, Wilson Contreras, like is good and stuff, and you just see their record, and they just don't win anything. It's like
Their
Sonny
ass.
Gray had a career year, like ass. So I agree with you there a little bit. I'm going a little different though. Cubs edging out the Brewers by 1 game, right at 87 wins. You know the Brewers are going to be there just because it's a mid division. Cubs in first, Brewers in second.
Okay.
The Reds very close behind in third. Ellie De La Cruz led the league in strikeouts last year, but that's not what the media wants you to know. He is fun, and I'm rooting for him to actually be elite this year. He would be super fun. I need him to hit more than 230 though, and
Yeah.
stop swinging and everything. I think he's the most famous 230 leading strikeout player I've ever seen. But I
Probably
think he could
right.
take that jump. He could take that jump and actually be cool and fun, and I'm rooting for it. And then next we got the Cardinals in fourth, actually, because
Really?
I do think that the Pirates are just so young. The between Keller, Skeens, and Jones, they do have a big three-headed monster. They still keep running out Kid Brian Hayes, unfortunately. O'Neill Cruz is like a dollar store version of Ellie De La Cruz, who's already like pretty overhyped for now. And Brian Reynolds, man, like that's another guy that signed his life away, and you gotta give him all the respect that they can turn that around because he is fantastic. Also, they're running out Kutch in a starting role still, like it's 2012.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they got IKF at shortstop, Tommy Pham in left field. Like this is like a lineup from 2013 with like they're putting around. Like I'm just not buying it. Even like the St. Louis has some guys that can do a little bit better.
Not good. Not good. They didn't even do the tops card correctly. Did you see that for
I
Paul
did not
Skeens
see
card?
that. I did not see
Oh,
that. They lost the rookie patch, or
they lost the card or whatever. And then they were, or Tops like was releasing one, and they were like, whoever finds it will give you, 30 years worth of season
oh,
ticket.
I did see that, and that
Yeah,
kid found it, and they
yeah,
offered him the whole package, right?
and he turned it down.
Did he?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was like, "Why do I
turned it
want 30
down.
years of season tickets, autograph stuff, and like I saw like softball field. You could borrow the stadium to play a softball game once, and
Yeah,
like
so
a bunch of other
ridiculous.
stuff. And he turned it down because that card's to be worth way more than that
Oh,
one
are
day.
you kidding me? He sends that to auction. It's going to be worth millions of dollars at one point. Like, why?
Yep.
It's classic Pirates. Classic Pirates.
Yeah.
We have our final division now. Our final. I know some rankings have us behind some two teams, but I'm going the Mets first, and I don't care. I just don't care. I've got the Mets, then the Braves, then the Phillies, then the Nationals, and then the Marlins. I don't know what the Marlins got going on. It seems like I know the Nationals aren't good either, but it seems like the Marlins are just I feel like they're another one of those teams that every move they make is the wrong move.
Uh, I will start by saying we close our division recap by having it exactly the same.
Yo, let's go. That's incredible.
Exactly the
That's
same.
incredible.
Mets at 100 wins, Braves at 97. You know that's coming down to the last week. Philly at 91. And then the Nationals at 73 and the Marlins at 47.
Yuck.
But I got a little game for you actually that I played the other day. It's called Name Three Players on the Marlins.
Sandy
Let's
Alcantara.
There we go.
Uh, that's about it.
That's about it. That's about it. Is there anyone else you can think of on the Marlins?
No, I don't think so, genuinely. I really don't think so.
I have not found anyone that can name three yet. Players on the Marlins. That is a 47 win team. I mean, they're going to be right down there with Colorado. I think we got some real bad bottom three organizations in baseball right now. I'm going to read out some of the names of their starting lineup.
For the
And you could tell
Marlins.
me, yes, and you could tell me if you even heard of any of these guys. Some of them you might. Okay. Catcher is Nick Forbes.
No.
The DH is Griffin Conan or Conine.
No.
The first baseman is Jonah Bride.
Nope.
The second baseman is Otto Lopez.
No.
The shortstop is Xavier Edwards.
Yeah, no. Nope.
He actually had a pretty decent second half last year and was like the only bright spot for them. So I'll give them Xavier Edwards. Third base is Connor Norby, the headliner in that Trevor Rogers trade.
Okay.
Okay. And then in the outfield, Jesus Sanchez.
Might sound familiar.
Yeah,
Two
like
familiar names.
yeah.
You know.
Dane Myers
No.
and Kyle Stowers,
No.
who
So
was the
one and
other
a half.
piece in the Trevor Rogers trade. So that's who they're running out there in their lineup. How are they going to score at all? Any thoughts?
Yeah, it sounds like they're praying that Sandy pitches every game and throws no hitters almost every game because I don't know what the fuck that team is.
I
That is
know.
terrible.
Like how do you like I don't know. Like and Sowers and Norby they got for Trevor Rogers, who was really bad, so they got lucky there. So the Orioles weren't like literally incompetent. This lineup would be even worse. So that is just it's incredible to me.
That
Yep.
is,
You have
you know what's
playoff
incredible to
predictions
me?
too?
Well, I give me your wild cards, I guess, because obviously we have the division winners. So what are your
Yes.
wild cards?
The wild cards for me in the AL are hold on, I have it right here. Oh, in the NL, I got the Diamondbacks and the
Okay.
Phillies, both 90 win teams, are going to be in the playoffs as well. For the AL, I think let me check my notes here.
And
So
you said Diamondbacks, Phillies, and Braves.
the Diamondback, there's three of them, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
Braves too. Yeah, exactly. Diamondbacks, Phillies, Braves. Sorry, I forgot there's
Yeah.
three.
No, I thought the NL East was gonna have three as well, and I like the Diamondbacks pick. Uh, and then so
Yep.
what's your AL?
For the AL, it's going to be the Rangers,
Hmm.
the Orioles, and the Tigers.
Okay,
Three teams that definitely could be fun in their own right and should be better, but will not win their divisions by a hair.
I love it. I love it. Wow, I can't fucking wait for baseball season. I'm so fucking excited.
Some
There's so much stuff now to fucking look into too. It's amazing. What about some MVPs, huh? Give me some MVPs. Give me
MVPs. I'll
something
give
to look
you.
forward to.
How about I give you the favorite, and I'll give you the sleeper because we love talking about the sleeper. We don't love just going, oh, Otani and Judge and moving on with this segment. We're gonna give you the guys that will win if those two guys get injured or something.
All right.
Um, in the AL, a full healthy season from Royce Lewis of the Minnesota Twins will result in him being a top MVP vote getter this year.
Okay.
His injuries has been his only issue. If he has one full season, he rakes and never slumps. We will see a lot of him, especially if they win that division. You know, the Lions.
I like it. I had Yordan Alvarez.
Jordan Alvarez. I love that pick. I love that pick for me. I love that pick for you. I mean, I love that pick all around. And that plays well too. If they win that division, he definitely is a 300 hitter with 40 homer pop. You're always in the conversation there.
That's what I'm saying.
Love it. In the NL, I'm going to go keeping this
Uh-oh. We might have lost
early
our
on the backs of Kyle.
Hold on, Ray.
Lost me.
Ball nowhere. We lost you. You're back now. No, you're back.
I'm back. Yeah, no, don't shout out Spectrum. Definitely don't. Home Depot connection every time you have Spectrum. I mean, seriously.
Not. You will not.
Back to the NL. Same lines, central team, barely winning their division on the back of Kyle Tucker, newly acquired right fielder. Last year, before he bruised his shin and missed 3.5 months because he had a bruise on his shin. Um, he was hitting like about 370 or some crazy, insane stat. He won Player of the Month in April, and he was ridiculous. And I think people forget that he could also be a $500 million player when it's his time. All the talks about Vladdy, but this guy Tucker on a contract year is going to be one to look out for.
I like that pick. I might have to sprinkle something on that. I went the only way there is to go. I went Juan Soto or Francisco Lindor. Come on.
Yes, co-MVPs.
Yeah.
Co-MVPs.
Imagine
They,
that'd be fucking
they
awesome.
both get one on their resume. They both finish hitting 330 with 35 homers and 120 ribbies, both of them. The same exact stat line. How could you pick one?
Speaking into existence, I had a fortune cookie today at lunch that said it was like it was may your life be a masterpiece painted with blessings. And that's what it's gonna be. Soto and Lindor, are you kidding me? The colors are gonna be orange, blue, and white, baby. Uh
Yes, sir. Thank you, Fortune Cookie.
yeah,
Shout
literally.
out.
Amazing. Amazing. You got any Cy Youngs for us?
Certainly do for Cy Youngs. I mean, shout out Scooball and Skeens, the betting favorites and the most likely winners. But again, it's no fun.
No
Let's
fun. I'm with you.
give me year two. Cole Reagans from the Kansas City Royals. He was already one of the top pitchers last year in his first full season. I think he really tunes it in and puts up the same exact style season that Scooball was able to in his jump from to year three. So Cole Reagans becoming the horse.
I love it. I don't know too many pitchers, and I knew, like you said, Scooble was the easy answer. So I went and I was trying to look up some info. I went another Kansas City pitcher who had a pretty good year last year. Former Met, Seth Lugo.
Yep, Seth Lugo. Seth Lugo, man. I would not be surprised. I could still hear Ron and Keith talking about how he had the highest spin rate on his curveball in the entire league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
would not be surprised if it goes that direction. That's why Kansas City, is going to be right in that wild card talk again. I mean, exciting team.
we'll see. Did you say your NL or no?
In the NL, we are going with Hunter Green from the Cincinnati Reds, plus 5,000. Hunter Green
Ooh.
turned it on right before the All-Star break and was dominant all the way through, becoming one of the best pitchers in the NL. He did have an injury in September that ended his season a little bit short. But Hunter Green, if he can repeat whatever clicked in the middle of last season, he will be among the top pitchers in baseball this year.
I love it. I love it. I had to go with our guy. You know, he had last year he had some injuries. Unfortunately for you too, he lost a year of his eligibility. But give me Kodai. I don't know what his plus odds are.
Give us
Fucking
Kodai.
taking him. I'm fucking taking him.
I'm like, how much money would you give to be sitting in section 515 behind home plate right now, just hearing like the Sega theme every time he gets a punch out? Sega. Just over and over and over again with a $20 beer in my hand.
Take my money. Just take my money.
Take my money, Uncle Steve, please.
Oh wow. What a
Love that,
fucking
love that pick.
before we get into some Mets talk, because I know we did talk a majority of Mets. There's just a couple of things I wanted to
Wait, what about the rookies?
oh
You
shit, I
got some
forgot about
rookie
the rookies.
picks?
Give me the
You
rookies.
got
Give me
some
the
rookie
rookies.
picks? All right, rookies we'll do quick. Toronto, rising star, which I mentioned before, our teaser, the son of Mets legend Billy Wagner,
Mm.
Will Wagner of the Toronto Blue Jays, will hit over 300 in his rookie campaign and be a sleeper for AL Rookie of the Year. Will Wagner absolutely rakes. He was part of the Kikuchi deal from Houston last year when they traded Kikuchi from Toronto to Houston. Will
Okay.
Wagner rakes. Did last year in a short stint and will for a full season this year. Will Wagner. And for the NL, this one is someone that you've never heard of, and you might not even remember when I say it. Tirso or Nilas.
Mm. I love
He
the
was
name.
a journeyman minor leaguer for the Padres, but he has never had a season where he was under like 270, and he mostly averages like 290 across all those years in the minors. He finally is coming up this year, projected to be their starting DH, might play the field a little bit. He's like fourth in the rookie of the year odds right now somehow. But I think that he, with a full time role with that support in the lineup, can have a Jackson Merrill type jump this year. Tirso or Nilas, rookie of the year.
Wow. I'm I love it. My only rookie of the year, I don't even know if I can technically say this, but I don't know if he played enough games yet. He could be, Ben Simmons type of situation. His name is Brett Beatty.
Brett Beatty definitely is not qualified, but I will tell you who is eligible, and that is Luis Angel Acuna, Ronnie Mauricio as well, Jet
Oh,
Williams, Brandon Sproat. Every one of those guys is eligible for us. So Mets rookie watch. The system is top heavy, baby. Call them up.
I love it. I love it. Uh, and before we get into some more, a little bit of Mets talk, give me your World Series prediction?
Okay. So my World Series prediction will be the Rangers advancing, beating the Yankees in the Final Four,
Hmm.
making it to the World Series to play against the New York Mets this year. Let's
Oh,
go. And is that my favorite and second favorite team playing each other in the finals, you say? I thought you were a partisan, non-biased ball knower. I am. And I also am a good speak into existence guy, as you mentioned before.
hell yeah.
There's a very realistic route of both these teams facing off of each other. I have the Mets beating the Braves in the Final Four. We're going to
Okay.
see one of those classic Dodger 3 game series where they just lose to the Padres or the Diamondbacks for no reason, like they did for a couple years in a row.
Hmm.
Like karma's going to come get them. The baseball gods gave them the last one. Mets, Braves, Yankees, Rangers, Mets, Rangers.
I love it.
You figure out the rest.
I love it. I'm also taking the Mets in the World Series, and I don't give a fuck who is in the AL. But I'll let me see out of who I picked. I will go. You know what? Give me the Mets Yankees and give me the Mets winning. Revenge of the Subway Series. I need it. I
I
need
think
it.
the city needs it, and the city got close last year, and
I
it was fun
know.
to root for that to happen. Actually, I will say so. If it happens again, I'll be rooting for it to happen, man. City's
I'm
gonna be
ready.
bumping.
It'll be close. To wrap up our MLB preview, I just want to get your perspective on a couple of Mets things. First of all, did you see the story today that the Phillies tried to, or Bryce Harper was advocating for the Phillies to sign Pete Alonso?
I did, and they framed it as sign an effective first baseman that could help their lineup.
Yeah.
But there was only a few very effective lineup changing first basemen that were on the market. Harper is very familiar with Alonso. I know that TikTok chef Bryce Harper is definitely a team first guy now in his old age. Um, and he would move back to the outfield or even just to DH. But, Schwarber's locked up
Yeah.
there. So they got some lineup issues. And, you can't hate the guy for threatening to move to try to bring in some more talent. But they got a lot of $300 million contracts on that team, too. So
I think Harper in the outfield would have been a problem. Like in a bad way. I don't mean like a good problem. I think he would have not been good, which is why.
I agree. But can he out hit his issues?
Yeah,
He's
that
still Bryce
probably.
Harper,
Yeah.
right?
Agreed.
Did Soto out hit his issue last year?
Oh yeah. Are you
Oh
kidding
yeah.
me?
So
He'll
I don't
do it
think Bryce
forever.
was too concerned with a couple guys taking an extra bag once every week or so.
We did say goodbye to Candelita. I was very upset about this. How are you feeling?
Oh man, I mean, I am excited to move into the future, and I'm excited that 2024 was my favorite year being a fan to this point. Just how unexpected it was. We know the World Series run was very unexpected as well and was super fun. But this energy across the city
I know.
was amazing. He literally high school musical the Astros. We beat them, and then he sang on the field about it after. That happened in a real professional sports game. It's there was just stuff that you can't make up. Him not coming back, I thought we had a spot where he can have a Marte role and just sit on
I
the bench,
know.
play when people get injured, and play for league minimum or whatever it is. I thought we had a spot to make him come back and get it done. However, I'm at peace with 2024 happened, how it was supposed to. I do not want 2025 to be forcing the
Oh no.
gimmicks again. That happened. It was fantastic. I will love Grimace and OMG forever. And if people try to force that to be a rallying cry again, it's corny, it's cheesy. Let's move on. Our whole thing is creating new random bullshit every year.
Yeah.
So let's just be open to what's in store for 2025.
No, for sure. That was something that we discussed on the pod previously too. I don't. You can't force those. Like the everything that happened in 2024 came organically, and if you try and not do it organically, like you said, it's gonna be corny. It's gonna be whack. Do I think there will be some things that happen organically? Of course, there always are.
Always
But
are. They
I
keep it interesting if nothing else.
literally. But yeah, it cannot be forced, and I will love Candelita forever, forever. After just that half a season, I will literally Mets legend in my book. Mets legend in my book.
100%. 100, just like Kelly Johnson, baby. Best legend. No matter what.
um, what is your take on Lindor getting the C?
Um, when? Like, come
Yes,
on.
I
I
think he
mean,
needs it.
like my rallying cry, like during the playoffs, and we all had our reactions and to different moments throughout the summer into the fall, the fantastic series that he was having, injured, playing through it, hitting clutch home runs to break up the no hitter in Toronto,
Kidding me?
and against Atlanta to clinch it. And I am just running around screaming, "Give him the C."
Yes.
I'm not even happy. I'm not even happy like, oh, like we won the game, we're excited, like let's go. I'm like, give him the C. That is my captain. I said that thousand times last year. The fact that he might not have it to start this year is almost
Ridiculous.
impossible. Almost impossible after what he did last year. Give him the C.
I'm hoping they're just waiting until the end of spring training
I
to be
think so
like,
too. I
hey,
heard that there was internal discussions about it, and he
really?
was asked about it. And he did an interview by his locker in spring training where they asked him, if you were to become the captain, what would that mean to you? And he speaks about it just as he always does. You know, the guy that gets it done, the guy that doesn't celebrate home runs, he just knows that this happens all the time. Just another business trip around the bases.
Just
The
like
guy that
this.
literally is the vocal leader, the picture in Milwaukee where everyone's just ready for him and he's just standing there hyping up the whole crowd in front of him, the whole team, everyone looking at him because they know that he's the guy. I've never seen a guy captivate a team like that in such an energetic way in a while because we have a lot of captains that are very respected, fantastic captains.
Yeah.
But to see the energy and vocalness and never run off on someone in the wrong way, where vocal leaders usually create riffs, you know, and Lindor has just perfected the craft of being the energized leader while pissing off nobody ever. And but give him the C.
Yeah, I think the only time he might have pissed somebody off was maybe you know, whatever happened with Jeff McNeil, whether there was a squirrel or not or whatever it was. No, but
Yeah, I
I
mean that's funny because I actually was in the clubhouse when that happened for one of my 10 years. So um, we'll keep that for an off the pod conversation.
yeah, ball knower
And
was there.
anything that happened in the clubhouse was an off the pod conversation, unfortunately for the listeners. But
No, 100.
I didn't see a rat or raccoon. It's all I'll
Hmm.
say. I didn't see it.
Interesting. Interesting.
Didn't see it.
No, but I agree with you 100%. I think they never officially made Wright the captain, which they should have, but he was known as the captain. Let's not do that again. We're already making strides as an organization in the right direction, and this is it too. So I think I hope they're waiting till the end of spring training. I think, like you said, I think it'd be ridiculous if he starts the season without it. But honestly, if Uncle Stevie wants to make some money off of that Soto contract, just start selling the jerseys with the C. I'll buy one. I'll buy one in every color.
I literally got it stitched onto the jersey I already have, you know? And I will say that I think that the Mets officially did make David Wright the captain, not to step
Did
on your
they?
toes, but he was from 2013 to 2018 officially the captain
Oh,
of the
thank
Mets.
God.
So the Mets have had four captains in their history. I pulled it up here. I'm not trying
Oh,
to outclass. I did look it up.
you kidding me?
Um,
Step on my toes, dude. I want that would I'm glad to be wrong about that.
yeah,
I would want him to be the captain
Keith
officially.
Hernandez was the first one. And he was actually co-captain for 2 years with Gary Carter. Then
Mm.
nobody had it for 11 years until John Franco, who was the third. John Franco had it for 3 years. Nobody had it again for 11 years until David Wright in 2013. And since his retirement in 2018, it has been vacant. So it has
Wow.
been 7 years since we had a captain, and there's no reason why Lindor shouldn't be wearing it on opening day this year.
He's my captain. Make him the fifth. The fifth in
Make him
franchise
the
history.
fifth, man. Make him the fifth.
Ah, that was beautiful. And I know we're gonna do a starting five together, but since you are coming back in a couple of weeks to discuss draft, I got a couple of questions for you about the NFL and our Giants. Our Giants.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
I'm ready for that.
well, I'm seeing a lot of interest with Aaron Rodgers.
Hold on, let me just jump out of this real quick. It's not open enough. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely come into this off season with the Giants, and we've both been Giants fans our whole lives, and fans of a lot of bad and good teams over the years. Right now, as it stands, is the closest I've ever been to just like suspending my fandom for a season. I think that there's a couple moves the Giants could make this offseason that will make sure that I don't watch the games, go to the games, or root for the team this year whatsoever. Um, and that's one of them for sure. That's one of them.
Hmm.
So, I mean, there's a couple different directions we could go. I think things that'll be really bad are trading up to number one and
Yes,
taking
so
Sanders
stupid.
would be so stupid. Like getting Sanders in house and signing Rodgers to play first and transition into Sanders would literally like I would not watch a single thing of that because now we're losing cap on Rodgers. We're losing all our assets to get Sanders, and then he's not even QB1.
This is
And
literally what I said.
so literally, if any scenario like that happens, I'll go watch my other team, my backup team, just in case. Support the Baltimore Ravens all season instead, which would be way funner than watching the Giants. However, Giants do have opportunities to make good moves. I've been banging the table since midway through this college season, about like maybe like week 8, for Abdul Carter to
Mm,
come and rewrite the wrong that we did with Micah Parsons, passing on him to trade down to get Kadarius Toney.
yeah.
We will never ever regret, like we'll never live that down, but we could because we have the second coming of him with Abdul Carter just sitting there for us. We should pull the trigger this time. The Giants are in a very good situation where they could add 5 more talented pieces, spend money in free agency. They have the number one hardest schedule this year,
I know, dude.
and that will light the way straight to Arch Manning next year at 1-1. Not that I really want to like come in last, but we keep coming in second to last. We keep winning 5 games, 6 games. Like,
Oh,
can we
for the
just commit to
culture.
being terrible? Just commit
Culture
to being
wins.
terrible once. Yeah, for bullshit wins. I think next year's QB class is loaded. I think if you take any QB from next year's class and put them into a team with a better O line, with Abdul Carter, with another receiver, with Neighbors in year 3, that they could have a Jaden Daniels esque like run in 2026. But in 2025, man, don't burn your future picks. Don't burn the cap on some bozo that's going to like ruin the locker room. And don't force feed us a QB that we don't want just because you feel like you need one, even though the draft class this year for QBs is kind of terrible. So as it stands,
If we had to take a QB here, would you rather take Ward or Shador?
Ward is the clear one right now. And I was listening to Pro Football Focus's podcast where Trevor Sikkema was just explaining how like the vibes at the combine this weekend were that Sanders definitely is way closer to Jackson Dart than Sanders is to Ward, which was the
Really?
vibe around NFL execs this weekend. Again, like once I go into my prep for our next pod and all of my draft mocks and prep, which I will plug my Twitter next time, you will see some of the rankings and where they stand. And right now, it seems like Ward is head and shoulders above everyone else.
I'll plug your Twitter for you right now. Don't worry. So people can start, they can go look at it before the next draft episode. Hold on, I got it right here. It's Maurer NFL Scouting, which is at Maurer, Maurer underscore NFL Scout.
Yep,
So
that is
tune into
exactly what
that.
it is.
Yeah,
A
because
freelancing NFL scout is what I am for most of the winter, all the way leading up to the draft. And you want some good content, but you don't want it from the mainstream media pushing it down your throat. Some sleepers, some guys that aren't being talked about. You can catch them on my page with a couple mocks.
dude, let's be real. He's the best in the biz. Get Mel Kiper and Todd McShay out of here. All right, all right. This is the ball watch insider. All right, he knows ball. He's the ball knower.
Nothing like competing against Mel Kiper and Mike Mayock for a while in those years there before he took the job to get back in the league. Yeah, comparing mock drafts, NFL.com has a fantastic scoring system where you could be in a group and do mocks against each other. And I'd always compete against those two guys just for fun.
That's fucking
Um, I've gotten them before. So who
okay.
says it can't happen again?
How do you feel about Brian Dable and I know his last name is pronounced Shane, but it's spelled Shone, so I always call him Shone. Um,
Yeah.
so I want
I
to
usually
know.
say I usually say our GM just because I don't feel like it. How do I feel about them, man? Um, I don't want to get ranty because of time on the Barkley situation, but it's really hard to not judge Shine for that. It was really, really terrible for the organization itself, where John Mara even himself said, he is literally everything for our organization, players, fans. He's a stand-up guy. He is a vocal leader. You don't pay him to be a running back. I don't want a $40 million quarterback handing off to a $12 million running back. The stupidest thing ever said. He's a
Ridiculous.
$12 million pinnacle of your team with intangibles of like leadership and things that you can't put on paper, culture building, community service, just like overall heart. You're paying that guy $12 million. You're not paying a running back. Just looking at his stats to justify the contract isn't doing it justice. You have to look at the person inside of your building, tangibles and intangibles. Shine cannot do that clearly. He did have a good draft class last year. Some guys that we hope can take a step up because the guys the year before took a step back in year two, including Deontay Banks. So Shine draft is not bad, but his free agent decisions haven't been that great yet. And the Barkley situation is just going to haunt us forever. So Dable, I don't have as much problems with. The only problem with Dable that I have right now, he's been given a shitty team. He took a bad team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Um, and the court, like you don't have a quarterback, you can't win. You can't play Dable. I think that he gets a little more leash in my eyes, just for now. But my concern with him and his staff is like I just mentioned. Why are our players that are young regressing? Like we have so many talented guys, like coming out of college, like that are showing off rip, like how good they can be. And then like
Yeah.
the next year, they're just getting worse. And that's a coaching problem. And that starts with Dable, I think. So if we see Neighbors and Drew Phillips and Tyrone Tracy and all those fantastic guys we got, Tyler Newbin from this last class, get worse next year, then I'm done with him too. So
I'm with you. I've called John Mara an idiot, but maybe he's smart. Maybe he's keeping them around so we do continue to be terrible for Arch.
exactly. He if we have the number one hardest schedule in the league somehow, which we keep coming in last, we keep getting the schedule.
I don't
Um,
understand that. That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't understand it either. It's very frustrating, but every year I get to see Baltimore in Giant Stadium. but how do we keep drawing Baltimore? Like I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's like take advantage of this. If you traded for Stafford, which they wanted to trade for him and pay him,
I know the 50 mil, that was stupid too. It
50
was
mil
so
and
dumb
losing all our
too.
assets just to lose and come behind Philly and Washington and be a 8-win team and waste every asset. Like that was ridiculous. I'm so glad it didn't happen. Like, please build the team, save your assets, use it to build around the QB, and come in last because no matter what you do, Stafford or no Stafford, schedule is too hard for us to make the playoffs this year.
Oh, by far.
Anyway, so just commit to being bad just one time. I'll never root to lose besides this season. I never have before. I love the DeVito runs last year that ruined our draft stock. I was all in. I just love winning games. This is the first time I'm rooting to lose. And if they do stupid stuff with the assets that we have in the cap, I'll be rooting for Baltimore this year. That's just how it is.
Right, it's all about the culture wins, man. You know, the culture wins in week 17. That's all it's all about. It's
No,
culture
no.
changing wins.
I'm not gonna be hypocritical, man. Like you watch a lot of games, and it's just exciting to win one every once in a while and deal with the draft later. If you were trading up last year to get Daniels or Drake May, then
Yes.
I don't really care. Like we got the culture wins and we got the quarterback anyway. There's a scenario where that exists. Like remember how Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson ended up where they're at
Yeah.
because teams traded up to go get them. Like so you could win games and then trade up to go get your guy. But don't do it when your guy is Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart. Like this is not the year to do that. If it was, I'd be loving going up for number one. But this is not the year to do that.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I just wanted to get some of those insights on what you think. Like I said, I know we're going to talk more NFL soon, but the Giants seem to be in no man's land, and I don't know what's going to get them out of it. I don't think any of the moves, like you said, that they were trying to make would have got them out of it, so I'm glad that they're not happening. I
Yes.
seriously hope we don't trade for one. I know that's still an option. Please don't.
Hear me out. Bridge quarterback, Jameis Winston, scores 30,000 points a game. We give up even more on pick sixes. We still come in last. We have fun doing it on fantasy. We get a new QB next year. I think he would be the perfect guy for us. Russell Wilson would be boring.
I don't want
He would
Russ.
lose games for us, which is fine, but it would be boring losing all those games. Jameis would be fun losing all those games. And like I said, like if you build the whole roster around and then trade up for the 1-1 next year, like the Giants can turn around like this and you see it. So I don't think we're in no man's land that much. Just like stay the course. Just be patient one more year. Please.
How do you feel? I love that Jameis take. That would be fucking amazing. If not Jameis, I wouldn't want Russ either. Um, I know you're ready. We're jumping around the jumping out the window about Aaron Rodgers. What about Justin Fields?
Fields is interesting. I think we'd have to pay him a little bit
Hmm.
more. Um, so I don't know exactly if I would love that move. I do think that he is the best like quarterback of those options overall.
Mhm.
I think Pittsburgh fumbled the bag with him a little bit, but I've never been a Justin Fields truther. I think though that like we have enough pieces that they could run around and score points. And we've been watching an offense that refuses to put the ball in the end zone for years.
Yeah.
There's so many bad teams that don't make the playoffs like Cincinnati that just like it is you watch the whole game and they got 30 plus and then they gave up 40 and they lose. We lose like 12-3 every week, just like struggling to even throw it forward. And like I don't mind losing, but I just mind like that we don't even get to clap once. I'm watching 3 hours of a game where I didn't clap once because we just can't score. And I'm tired of being that bad team. I want to be the bad team that scores a lot and loses this year. Is that too much to ask for? Is that too much to ask for? Just like a couple touchdowns? I don't
No,
know.
I'm in. I'm in for fun losses. Fuck it. It's gonna help us. It'll help us in the long run anyway. So I'd rather have a fun time losing than like you said, a terrible time losing. But
Yeah, like the Jets game, we set the record for punts, and then we lost like 9-6 in overtime because it was just we were just punting back at like that's like every week. It's just like who could just like punt it the most until someone fucks up. Oh man, we'll talk NFL next.
Yeah.
I can't get
Oh,
all riled up about that right now. We've got too much Mets positivity going on.
I agree. Oh my God. Uh, all right, it's time. It's time to end this sode and end this interview with our starting five, which today is going to be a starting nine, because we are drafting Mario baseball teams from specifically the GameCube one,
One of
which
the best games of all time.
one
Best video games of all time.
and I know I've been taking a lot of L's recently and starting fives. Um, I definitely think I'm probably going to take an L again, and I would like to, just to add insult to injury for myself. I have never beaten Ray at this game. I think I've gotten mercied almost every time, if not every time. I think there might have been one time where I took it to, well, I forgot however many we play. I think it
Took it
was
the
six.
distance, man. You
Yeah,
got
I
to go
think
to the. It's like
once.
boxer in the ring. Can you go the
Once.
distance?
Um, but I've gotten mercied every other time. So this should be good. You have the first overall pick since you're substituting for Vinny. He would have the first overall pick today.
Okay. Okay. So the first overall pick of Mario Baseball from the GameCube is none other than Bowser.
Yeah.
Bowser is the only person that can go first.
I figured you were going to go that route. So
He's
I'm
Shohei Ohtani, man.
yeah, literally. The amount of home runs he's hit off me, uh, disgusting. I'm going to take Donkey Kong.
Okay. I like you trying to match the lefty power, the lefty
Gotta,
pop.
I gotta do something here because I know what you're going next, and I'm in trouble.
Uh, I don't know if you know what I'm going next. Next for me is going to be Birdo.
Is that the
Um,
wizard?
no, that is not. Birdo is the pink dinosaur that's commonly
Oh,
associated with Yoshi. She has
yes.
the giant suck mouth. And
Yes.
if you hit the ball anywhere near her or him, they suck it in. And they also have an egg power up that is ridiculous. So a great two-way player there as well.
That's a great pick. I had her written down. I just had her written down as Girl Yoshi. I might not know some of the names, which I'm sure you'll figure it out for me. All right. Well, I might have to try and load up here. Actually, I don't know. No, no, yeah, I'm going Petey Piranha.
Edie Piranha.
I gotta
Okay.
try and load up a little on some, if you're going some good fielding. So give me
I'm
Petey.
actually glad that I'm glad you did that though, because I do have a top 20 here and Petey's not on it. So you
Oh,
definitely would have had him like last if you wanted.
I thought he hits
So
bombs.
he can get like he has so much recoil after his swing that you can quick pitch him before he even like gets the bat back. And it's really it's really tough to connect. He also has like no defensive abilities or speed.
Yeah, sounds like it's already over for me.
But don't worry, because I'm going to take Yoshi off the board. And his tongue grab next to Birdo's suck will make sure that even if you do make contact, nothing will hit the ground.
That's a problem. That's a problem. I'm gonna go. I gotta play a little defense here now. I'm going with another one. I feel like he doesn't have the tongue to do it, but the wizard,
Magic Koopa.
Magic Koopa, his stick,
Yep.
snipe shit out of the air. I need that.
Magic Koopa is rated high on my board. He is the king of going Oppo Taco. I
Yes,
definitely was going to go with him in the fourth here, so you did get me there.
that's huge. That's huge.
Yes, yes, he is. He is fantastic. That leaves the king though,
I know.
Mario himself. Mario himself is the game's named after this all around athlete. The fact that I could get Mario with Birdo, Yoshi, and Bowser in the top four, I'm feeling good. Feeling good. They were the top four on my board.
Really?
Yes,
Wow,
they
that's
were. One
huge.
through
That's
four.
huge. Uh, I need some pitching here. Give me Waluigi. He's a good pitcher, man.
Yes, I know. Waluigi's also not on my board intentionally because I love hitting off of him. So I wanted to make sure that you picked him.
Uh, God damn.
Waluigi is the most used pitcher across the Mario baseball world. I do like facing him though.
So you
I
know what
also
he's
picked
going.
Bowser, so I don't need another pitcher. Bowser's the pitcher, so I wouldn't have a use for him anyway on my team. But he fits good on yours. for both of us. So that's good. I'll go next with a surprise here. I'm going to take Daisy off the board.
Wow.
Daisy, great overall athlete, way better than Peach, and has a super pop in her lefty swing. Daisy is definitely someone that's very high on my board usually.
Good to good to know. I did not know. Who am I going now? I feel like I need a little bit of speed here. So I'm gonna go with give me Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong, very good pick. Best bunter in the game.
Thank you.
And also a fantastic shortstop as well. You're getting some defense there.
Ooh,
You put DK at first, then you get that power up from shortstop to first on the throw, the little father son connection. I see
things
what
I didn't even know.
I see you're building that connection over there.
Trying. We're trying
Ne-
something here.
Next, I'm going to go with some pop. We were talking about big bats, and I got a lot of defensive people here, pitching, speed, but get King Boo back in my lineup because if King Boo can keep it fair, it's gone. He doesn't hit anything besides fair and foul dingers. So you got to have that potential in the middle of the lineup.
All right. Where am I going from here, man? I could be wrong about this, but I feel like this is another maybe speedster, maybe some type of defense. And again, I could be wrong, but I feel like I've seen her in use. Toadette.
Toadette is one of the fastest characters in the game. She doesn't have any perks necessarily defensively besides being very fast, but a very good outfielder for sure.
Okay. That's my pick.
I honestly thought that you were going to go this direction on me when you were describing that. I'm going to take Monty Mole. Monty Mole is a slap hitter. He's like Ichiro, and defensively, when he's holding the ball, he runs faster than humanly possible all around the diamond. So you cannot get in a rundown with Monty because then he just shoots across the screen like this. So
That's a great
between
pick.
Monty on the infield and the suction in the outfield,
Whatever list I looked at said he sucked. So that's that's bullshit. That's why I just got to play the game. Uh, who do I got? One, two. Give me Wario. Can't have a team without Wario. And a lot of people don't like him. I love him.
Yeah, Wario was coming up for me too. I mean, he's the best third baseman in the game defensively and the hot corner. He can't do much else, but he's got a good power up and he's got good power in the bat. So he's a solid, consistent guy to have on your team there. Next for me, I'm gonna finish my big three of power guys and take Hammer Bro. When he's got the
Oh,
charged
fuck.
up giant sledgehammer, he's got infinite pop, but this time from the right side to pair with my lefties.
That's the fucking Koopa Trooper that wears a helmet, right?
Yes, and has
Fuck.
the sledgehammer instead of a bat.
Yes. Yes. That's a great pick. That is a great
It's a
pick.
bargain pick, I think, at this round.
Was that your eighth?
Let's see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8. Yeah, and I got one more ready. So
Yeah. All right. I feel like, every team needs a glue guy. It might just be a guy who looks really cool. Um, I don't even know what he can do. Give me dry bones.
dry bones, dry bones, man. Oh, it's like like a legendary last round pick. There's a group of four guys that will always go in the final round and that of every draft. And Dry Bones is like, do I do him this time or do I give one of the other three a chance? And you called his number today, so he might come through for you.
Yeah. I might have called him a little early. That was my eighth pick. So he's not the last. I have one more.
Yep. Well, he's right in that bottom four of the draft, so
Who
he's
you
right in the
got?
range.
Who you got?
I got Blue Noki.
Fuck, that's that blue thing with the tree on his head?
That's no, that's no, that's a Pianta. You're
Oh,
thinking.
okay.
I'm talking about the thing that is like a tiny, tiny mushroom with like the two blue horns, and
Oh,
like it is
yes.
like literally pocket sized. That is a personal preference because if you get the timing of his bat right, he'll bloop a single right over the infield every single time automatically if you can time it right. But if you don't time that right, it's just a ground out waiting. so so sneaky potential. I become good at that skill, so I hit a very high average with Blue Noki.
Okay. Okay. Uh, all right, my last pick. I feel like I need some wings. Maybe it helps it fly. Give me some Koopa Troopa.
Koopa Troopa. Very nice. You're gonna be getting up there over the outfield wall because you're not gonna
Yeah,
be getting anything past me in the batter's box, but you might be able to bring some back.
that's what I'm saying. I needed some defense there. I needed some defense. I don't know.
Elite defender.
We're gonna have to play this out and see who wins.
Yep.
Aside from the starting five, why don't you give a recap? Give your team.
All right, so I got Bowser in the 1-1, Birdo and Yoshi combo in the outfield, Mario, the king. He's going to be in right field for me. We have Daisy playing third base, King Boo playing catcher because the ball just goes through him sometimes. You can't put him on the field. Monty will be playing second base to prevent all the rundowns. Hammerborough will be at first, and Blue Noki will be at whatever position I didn't say yet, but very versatile Blue Noki. Well, Mario will
That
be at shortstop, and Blue Noki will be in right. That's what it was. There you go.
that sounds like a fucking team right there. Congrats on your win in the game when we play and in the starting five. I'm
Let's
sure.
just put a spread. We can play with a spread.
Oh, all right.
Play with a
All right.
spread. We love that. We love
Yeah.
making things 50-50.
Yeah. 7.5.
I was thinking 9.5, but
That might be better. We'll see. I don't know. I got faith. I got, we got Donkey Kong, Peter
nice.
Piranha, Waluigi, uh, Magic Koopa, or whatever his name is, Wario, Diddy Kong, Koopa Troopa, Toadette, and Dry Bones.
The outcast, baby. And that's just the kind of underdog story that you need to come and rise from beneath.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Wow.
Absolutely. Let's get this on the book soon, my friend.
Oh, we will for sure. What a show, dog. What a show. Thank you, Ray, for coming in and fucking showing everybody how much of a ball knower you are, how much of a ball watcher you are. It was a great MLB preview. We'll definitely see you soon. Anything you want to say before you head out?
No, I just want to say, like, this is my first time on the pod, and I'm very, very happy to be here. I'm always listening to you guys, just jumping in comments on the train, and then everyone's like, "Who you talking to?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just feel like when I'm hanging out with them that I usually say this thing right now, but I forget it's a podcast." So it's nice to actually be here, be a part of it. I'm sorry that Vinny wasn't here today, but I hope that I did well in his absence.
No, you did fucking amazing. And don't worry, Vinny will be here for the NFL draft preview.
Absolutely,
Stay
absolutely.
tuned,
So I have my
everyone.
work done for that.
Yes, make sure you follow Ray on Twitter. Uh, and then we will see you well for ball
Few
watch
weeks,
you on Monday. But Ray, I'll see you soon.
few weeks.
Peace.